get into your physical. It's time to talk some this and more. We gonna talk about it all. DVD, CD, UHD, VHS, clips. Blu-ray. Who knows, maybe you'll even see the laser disc today. Let's get physical. We wanna talk some physical media. Movies and TV, music and more. Come check out what we have in store. This is the Media House Stream. It's time for some physical media on FanZcene.
I know it was like really popular because it like won some Oscars and whatever, but
Jimmy does dance.
It's got the Mighty Ducks guy. Got that guy.
No! Yes, but no! He's not the Mighty Ducks guy! It's Emilio Estevez! We're the
You can never have enough physical media. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg.
Well, hello, fellow followers. Welcome back to the Physical Media Show here on FanZcene, filmed in front of a live studio audience.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm not wearing any pants.
Well, I mean, who can tell, right? I mean, who knows what I got on down here? Could be nothing. Could be
Calvin
something.
Klein's.
I'm wearing
Nothing gets between Greg and his Calvins.
I'm wearing my Marty McFlies.
Why do you keep calling me Calvin?
I'm honestly surprised they never made Marty McFly underwear after. I mean, I know he's wearing Calvin Klein. There's all like whatever, but like nobody thought, what if I made Marty McFly underwear? That would have been. I don't know. That just anyways. But with me tonight is Tom. No Rook tonight. No runner. I guess we'll just go to deal with us two for tonight for the moment. So I hope you guys enjoy.
You're stuck with us.
You're stuck with us.
That's
on
right.
a lonely dark night.
Hey Tim, how you doing?
Yes.
I see he also asked me in a private chat about Sadie. Yeah, she was a pain in the butt to deal with the last couple, actually close to 4 or 5 days, because I had a gas leak in my neighbor's yard.
Ooh.
And I've been smelling gas for quite some time, and so have some of my neighbors been telling me too. And finally, late Saturday night, somebody comes over from the gas company and it's like, oh, there's a leak. I'm like, oh, that's great. We knew that. So like they've been digging holes and shit. They dug up almost the whole front part of the. It was crazy. But anyhow, so yeah, so she's made it a little difficult to stream the last few days. But luckily, she's calmed down. She's sleeping behind me right now. Actually, she's laying on the floor.
Nice.
You can't see her.
Nice. Well, Sadie, I'm glad you're getting some rest finally.
She's been so busy barking at everything, you know.
Yeah, it happens, right? I mean, they see all that excitement, and you know. Now she can relax. But let's say hi to the chat real quick. We do have FKHC 2005. Hell to you. Hi to you, Heather Preston. Glad to see you. Hell, Brian Barth. Glad to see you out there as well. You know, Paramount Netflix.
I think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, like, yes, Paramount is the better choice between Netflix, but they're still both pretty shitty.
Is it, though?
Yeah, I mean, I think for, like, physical media and theater wise, maybe, but either way, we're screwed both ways, honestly. So if you're into that, if you go ahead, Tom, whatever you want.
I honestly think Ellison's just trying to cover up all of Paramount's debt. Because
I
I know Warner Brothers is in debt, but they're not nearly as bad, right? So,
yeah.
And they've been successful this last 2 years or so with movies, to where everybody else hasn't really been.
It's true. It's true.
And then you got the Netflix deal, which I don't like. Yes, he's promising a 45-day window, which is like, look, at this point, outside of a few exceptions, they've all pretty much, all the movies we see are, like I checked out this week already, just this week alone in streaming, you can see Marty Supreme on video on demand, Kill Bill Volume 2, or Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair.
Yeah.
What else was there? A bunch of newer ones that just came out. Like, they weren't even that old of films.
This is like the biggest problem with this. I mean, I get that, and I understand that he's promising. I don't believe him.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. A promise is one thing. They actually get that shits and right. Oh, 28 days later, the other one of that.
Oh, yeah,
was
the
other one.
Temple, yeah.
Housemaid already came out. Primate already came out.
BDW, the Housemaid, made more money than Sinners.
Yeah. That's the other thing is like, yeah, let's not even get into that crap. But Anyway, like at the end of the day, this is I think they have to keep entertaining Paramount because for their shareholders' stake, if they didn't, they would be put in a position where they could be sued or Paramount could possibly sue them for unfair practices or what have you, however you want to put it. Mm-hmm. I'm not that much of a business guy. I only know kind of the side stuff of this stuff. But at this point, it still seems like the Netflix deal will probably still be the better deal because the problem is, and this is the thing that most people don't really realize, and I do suggest checking out our coverage on this because the big difference is Paramount wants everything.
Yeah.
Right? Like they want everything. Mm-hmm. It's from the top to the bottom when it comes to Warner Brothers, including cable channels, all that kind of business, and probably the music too, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Ellison actually talked about bringing back MTV music-wise.
They're the motherfuckers that destroyed it.
I know.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
That being said, fuck. The other side of this is with Netflix, I mean, they just really want Warner Brothers, the films, the television, but they also want to get into the theatrical game. So here's where I'm not so sure that they're not gonna try and shift some gears. Because Netflix is, especially Ted Sarandos, they've always been this company that's always said, "No, we're not going to do that," and then they do it. Mm-hmm. They've always done that, and to me, it feels like the one thing that they're missing compared to Amazon and now Apple with F1, especially F1 getting nominated for Best Picture, it doesn't fucking matter if it wins; it won't.
Yeah.
But the fact that it has been leaves Netflix in a position to where they are one of the only studios, quote unquote, in quotations for a reason, that doesn't have a theatrical platform. Yeah. Because even Amazon bought MGM for that specific fucking reason.
Yeah, they did.
Because they spent more money on getting James Bond out of Hawk than they did on what they spent for fucking everything else when it comes to MGM, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
So that being said, like that's where I think that Netflix, I'm not so sure, and again, don't quote me or don't like, I'm not 100% positive, I'm not... Ted Sarandos will say one thing and talk outside of his mouth and whatever.
Yeah, he lies a lot.
A lot. But I do feel like they want to have some kind of theatrical platform. It does sound like they're going to keep things separately. But here's the thing is they can't have, or they don't want all the cable stations, right? They don't give a shit about all that stuff.
Yeah, they don't.
So their offer is not for like that kind of stuff, which the Paramount one is. And that was kind of my whole point is Netflix is kind of picking and choosing what they want. And then the rest is going to get left over to go to Discovery.
Yeah.
So both parties will benefit on that sale. If Paramount wins, I'm not so sure Discovery benefits all that much. And at the end of the day, it'll create a lot of redundancies.
It will. And
see, there's some people inside the industry that are starting to notice this and take note. And they kind of shifted gears when a lot of them were at first going, yeah, pro Paramount. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, I might lose a job. So anyway, yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get it. And I see how the Netflix, I'm not naive, even as much as I hate Netflix. I see how the deal is better. But personally, I just don't trust Netflix to do it.
I hope neither one of them get it. I hope that the FTC says, yeah, no, you both can't have it. Like
that's what I hope. That's what I personally wish Warner Brothers would just stay Warner Brothers.
Truly, yes. They're one of the only big cats on the block still.
Yeah,
so yeah.
Yeah. I just don't trust Netflix. And if you notice with all the stuff he's saying, as somebody who loves physical media, and this is the physical media show, is everything he's saying a 45-day window and then straight to video on demand or streaming platform. He's not saying anything about a physical media release of these movies at all, or any other physical media releases. So that's like,
although Netflix has not always, but they've supported physical media as much as most studios as far as like their original content. A lot of it is available.
Some of it, not a lot.
Not the movies usually so much. That's the thing that concerns me.
That's my biggest
like shows like Stranger Things, but a lot of those are co-produced and it all depends, I'm sure.
Well, they only ever released the first 2 seasons. That was it.
Really? They didn't go the rest of the way?
Yep. No, they only released the first 2 seasons of that. And I think with Wednesday, which they have released Wednesday, I think Warner Brothers is a part of that. Or not Warner Brothers. Somebody else is a part of Wednesday. The Fuller House shows were Warner Brothers Television, so they released them. So most of the stuff that's been released by them isn't Netflix. It's the third party company that makes it, or whatever you call them. So yeah. But I know I get what you're saying. That's what worried me. But anyways, we'll see how it all shakes out. We'll see how it all goes. But hey, you, John the Beagle Dad, glad to see you out there. I'm doing good. Glad you got your Ben-Hur. Good to see you. What's up, Styles Sexton? Hell to you.
I still ain't got mine yet. What the fuck?
John the Beagle Dad got his. What's up, Physical Media Mafia? I like that. What's up? Glad to see you out there. Howdy, Dubafett. Sorry.
I want to watch some Ben-Hur.
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 What's up, Dubafett? Glad to see you.
How do you like my Charlton Heston?
It's not bad.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape. He always does that thing like a...
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Nova. I'm going to call you Nova.
And that's not all he's going to do to her.
I'm going to teach you the ways of love, baby.
What's up, Tim?
To show you how it's done.
Yeah, and then when he grabs her, kisses her at the end of the movie. He's like, "Yeah, that's it. That's what I've been looking for."
I love how Brock or whatever, Brett or whatever fuck his name is, the replacement one, just comes in and just swoops her right.
Yeah, he just takes her like, "Yep, we're right there."
I fucking hate that second movie. I have so many issues with that. It's like, and I've said it, I think on here is where I had the big long thing where I'm like, there's like 20 minutes of this fucking movie that you could cut out and it would not make a fucking difference.
Yeah, it's true.
Beneath the Planet of the Apes. It's when they escaped, only get fucking captured again. There's no, it serves no fucking purpose and it wastes like 20 minutes of the damn movie.
And then it ends horribly too. Luckily they came with the third one, but
the end is great because then you're like, fuck this shit, it's over.
Kill everybody.
Yeah, Charlton Heston's like, no more. Yeah.
He's done. What's up, Tim Hayes? Hell to you. Thank you so very much for being a member for 42 months. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for all your support and always being out there in the chat. I appreciate that, man. And just for that, I give you...
Don't do this, Ben. Please don't go this way.
I just had sex. I'm about to eat nachos. It's the greatest moment of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Captain Krypton, I'm being a little harsh on Planet of the Apes too, but look, it is the worst of the fucking franchise.
It is.
Of all of them. Like, of all of them. We're talking even the TV series, the cartoon.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the Tim Burton one. But on a good day, you ask me, I'll be like, look, those fucking effects and shit in that movie are pretty goddamn good. And up until the end, the movie's not bad. Yeah. It's just that fucking ending.
Yeah. Dumb on the Tim Burton one. It is so
What
dumb.
the fuck is going on? I'm Mocky and I'm in Ape World. What the hell?
Word to your mother. What's up, Cowboy?
That was actually Vanilla Ice.
But, yeah, that was Vanilla Ice. Yeah.
Wrong white guy.
Wrong white guy.
They all look the same to Greg.
We're all the same white guys. What can
Don't we look the same, or you look like brothers?
I mean, from the hair to the beard, it's all the same.
No, we don't look anything alike.
What's up, Cowboy?
I'm starting to look like Martin Mull more every fucking day. What the fuck is this shit? Without hair. Like, if I wore a wig, that's probably what I'd look like.
You got to shave it to the mustache, just the mustache. Because I'm used to
that'd be, yes.
Just with the mustache and get you like a
He
blonde
did have the beard
thing.
Sometimes near the end, but yes, when he was on Roseanne, it was always just the mustache, I believe. Yeah.
That's like how I mostly remember him. And then like near the end, with the beard, with the gray beard and everything.
I was gonna say for the longest time, I think he had the beard, but go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't know. I always picture him with that little mustache. Maybe it's from Clue because I know you hadn't seen Clue. I grew up watching Clue.
That too. Yeah, he does have the mustache in that, but that's I think close to the same era. Well, a couple years before Roseanne, but like maybe he did have the mustache a lot longer than I remember. I don't fucking know.
It happens. What's up, Captain Krypton? Glad to see you as well. What's up, Jose Morales? Any thoughts on YouTube? I don't know what that was all about. What was that all about? YouTube freezing up the other day. Like it went out for everybody. It's all weird. I don't know. That's crazy. It's crazy times. It's kind of weird because Twitter the day before, or X, whatever you want to call it, went down for a long time, and then YouTube went down for a long time. It's like these these happen a lot, and you never know if it's somebody actually hacking them or if they're going in themselves and changing stuff. You know what I mean? These companies like, oh no, we got to do this, we got to fix something in the code or something. I don't know. It's all weird. The Paramount would absolutely be better than Netflix if you care about physical media. I agree with that, but we'll see how it all shakes out. Let's see who else we have. We have Psycho Not Your Daddy. Glad to see you. Finally not working 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. Oh, finally. Glad to see you back. Man, you have a heck of a shift, man. That's crazy. Yeah. No, Tim, when I say MTV, I know MTV is still around and they shut down the US. What I mean is David Ellison has said he's thinking about bringing back music television, making it MTV again, not just reality shows and all that, where it actually has music videos. He wants to bring back the brand.
It's a little late, ain't it?
That's what I said. Like everybody's said, well, what about YouTube? I could just go on YouTube and watch music videos.
Well,
Exactly.
I've told this story before, so I probably have told it here, so I apologize. But already like 10 fucking years ago when I was working at Movie Gallery, I was having this discussion with a lady, and I don't even remember how we got there. Right? We were talking about music videos or MTV, one of the two. Mm-hmm. And her daughter comes up and she goes, Mom, what's a music video? And already 10 fucking years ago,
that's crazy.
We were having this reaction. So her mom and I were looking at each other trying to explain this shit. And she finally goes, oh, like on YouTube, when you watch the artist singing their song and it's like a little movie. Or no, like the artist who sings a song is like a little movie. She goes, oh, like on YouTube. Yeah. So at that moment, when the kid said that, I'm like, there you go. There's the issue now. There's a generation gap where they don't associate music videos with MTV anymore.
Nope. Not
right.
anymore.
Us growing up on that, like that was it. Like that was kind of how you viewed that. And to me, that's gone. It's been gone for so long that frankly, I just don't see it coming back.
I don't see how you could. I mean, it sounds cool in theory. Like, oh yeah,
exactly.
But then like you're thinking, well, I can just go on YouTube and stuff, which is also something I've noticed with
unedited and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's also something I've noticed with a lot of this, like even Teddy Boy here, which is this kind of worries me about with all these streaming services. Is like he basically said to the Senate that Netflix is basically YouTube.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of stupid shit Serrano said. Fucking.
I mean, what does he mean by that? I can't create and put stuff on YouTube freely. I can't do that.
I think his argument, and I bet you, if he'd have paid me couple $100 even, I could have told him how to rework that argument because I've been saying it for a while. The thing that people are not looking at that's a big, huge difference between what Paramount is, Warner Brothers is, and Netflix is. And this is why I keep saying there's redundancies when it comes to Warner Brothers. Because make no mistake about it. If Paramount buys Warner Brothers, and I'm not trying to say this like I'm trying to sound like I'm rooting for Netflix, I'm just saying it's the most inevitable outcome. I
get where you're coming from.
At this point, that's why I keep saying this. Because even if we get to a point where, okay, let's say that Paramount were to make a really good offer and Warner Brothers is like, okay, we're going to go with Paramount instead. The FTC steps in and they're like, well, wait a minute. You've got a lot of things here that are exactly the same. And at that point, if those two combine, they will have more television. They will own more television stations, cable stations, and the rights to television past properties than any of the other entities put together because of all the past. Because Paramount and Warner Brothers have a very rich, vault of television.
Years worth.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but you got the two top guys getting together on that. That's usually a big no-no for the FTC. And let's not even get into all the other stuff. The only thing they might have an okay with is the music, right? So because I don't think Paramount has anything to do with any music anywhere, but that's the other problem we already have is you've had all these music companies that when we were growing up, you had hundreds of them almost, feels like. Now there's literally 3. You have 3 companies that own all the fucking music. Everything. So we're getting to that point with movies, and I think that they need to start paying attention to that because television is alongside that along with it. And that's where I think it's a lot more difficult for Paramount to make this deal than it would be for Netflix, because Netflix is technically not a studio. And this is what I think Ted meant by that YouTube line. As I've been saying for a while, the difference is Netflix is just a distributor. They're not technically a studio. They don't really technically create anything, right? Like, yes, they do have some studios for shows that they do produce, but they're not like set up like a standard studio system, if that makes sense.
Right.
So I think that's the argument that Teddy's trying to make.
But the way he said it.
But the way he said it sounded fucking idiotic. But at the end of the day, because that's what I've been saying for the longest time here, is like, look, the big differences here is that Paramount is a fucking movie studio. Warner Brothers is a fucking movie studio. Both have a television studio alongside that, and not just one, but probably several different departments as far as that goes. Netflix is not technically a studio. It's a distribution platform.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Andre and I kind of agreed on this. It's like, it's technically no different than when AT&T bought Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Technically,
but not
exactly, but technically. Yes, there is some things that are more the same with Netflix in comparison. But at the end of the day, the type of business that Netflix does in comparison to what Warner Brothers does are almost two different animals in a lot of different ways. Because even their structure inside of Netflix is not set up the same way as any television or cable company is, or a movie studio or television / cable company is.
Right.
So, yeah. That being said, yeah, like the benefits that the benefits that Paramount does have is that Warner Brothers doesn't have a network, so they don't have to worry about that shit, right? Like, because that was part of the problem with Fox and Disney, is that they had to separate Fox, the networks, or the network itself, from the cable company and the news channel, so they could do that deal.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of what Netflix is looking at doing, is kind of shedding off all the TV stuff, and then Discovery would take all that Warner Brothers television stuff, probably not the catalog, but the channels themselves, take them on, and then the catalog would probably go to Netflix, I would imagine, up to a certain point. Kind of like the old UA deal with MGM and stuff, how they lost all that shit to Warner Brothers.
Yeah. Sucks. Entertainment.
It's going to get complicated, and that's already a problem, is we have too many studios that are already conglomerated of conglomerates of conglomerates.
Yeah, it's just too much conglomeration of power for anybody, period, really. But
so I'm hoping that's where the FTC is like, yeah, neither one of you are, you're both too big to do this.
Yeah, I really hope that would be great if they stepped in and said, hey, Warner Brothers, you're not getting sold, period. That would be nice. What's up, Twinkie Kid? He still hasn't got his been hurt either. Ahoy to you, Deeple. Glad to see you. What is up, Anthony Draven? Glad to see you out there as well. I think I'm all caught up. And Trevor Maurer, glad to see you. Fast Channels with what I ever went to pay. Yeah, Fast Channels is those actually still make or watch more. Fast Channels is like Tubi and all them are still what's watched more and listened to than the streaming services. So
what they did though, and they're going to realize this if they haven't already, is that they turned over, and this is where physical media comes back into the conversation. The old platform they used to have for a film back in the day and the life cycle that it had, they turned that over just like the music companies did. They turned over dollars, if not tens of 20s of dollars, for literal cents, is what they've done now.
yeah.
So like a TV show that used to be worth a hell of a lot more than it is, well, you're dumping it on like Tubi, and they're making pennies per view.
Yeah.
Because of a few advertisements compared to what they used to make on a network when they would syndicate these shows across the nation.
True.
Do you realize how much money would come in when you'd come home and you'd watch like fucking the Brady Bunch and shit like that after school that was on every day? Remember? And then, years later it would cycle in new shit. Like Facts of Life and fucking, whatever.
Yeah, all over time. I mean,
once they would do that, that was a big fucking deal for them. Same thing with movies, guys. They got rid of so many, revenue streams when it came to movies. It's insane.
And they wonder why everything's losing money.
Right. And this is what Ben Affleck and Matt Damon were talking about, and a few other people, is like, the type of movies they used to make were the type of movies that DVD and home video and, these ancillary sales to cable and everything used to basically bank.
Yeah.
But now they can't make those kind of movies anymore because, frankly, they wouldn't be able to make enough money, or they wouldn't be able to put them out there, or they just wind up getting buried on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And that's the other thing, is Netflix doesn't quite know how to advertise yet.
No.
They haven't quite figured that part out yet. They get lucky and they get shit that's popular, like Stranger Things or Cobra Kai or
that's about it.
Squid
or
Games
Wednesday.
and stuff like that Wednesday. but they don't exactly. I mean, they do some advertising, but it's not on the same level, I don't think, as a film studio.
It's
And I've said this before. We did the numbers. Like, had they just turned around and put Happy Gilmore in the theaters for like a month or a couple weeks, excuse me, just like Amazon did with that Red One movie with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize how many people would have probably watched that? Because we did the math. You just took half of the people that watched it the opening weekend of it being on Netflix. And considering those are families possibly watching it too, so we're already being conservative as hell. So even take that, the half of the number of the people they claim that watched it, that movie would have made over 100, if not close to $200 million its opening weekend. Yeah. Somewhere between 100, like around $150 million for a comedy sequel.
Yeah, it's insane. And I guarantee it didn't make that much at all streaming.
No, because for Netflix to make any money on this, now get this is how this all works at the end. And this is how I know this is all going to be a bubble that's going to burst at some point. We all know this.
Mm-hmm.
Is because they're, like I said, trading dollars, if not tens of $20 for pennies.
Yep.
When you bring one of these movies in there, unless it's somebody who's actually subscribing to Netflix for that purpose, they don't really make all that much off it. Yes, they fraction off whatever it is for royalties and whatnot, but that's what all the money does at the end of the day. And that's what, so it's really not like they're making like the type of money that a studio would make every weekend on a box office. And I think that if they got that taste with the few things they have put in the box office now, that I think that's one of the reasons why they were running and gunning for Warner Brothers. And that's the end of that. I'm going to shut it down there.
No, that's fine. It's good. It's good. All right, let's get to the physical media. What do we got? You want to go? You want to go?
Yeah,
first?
let's do some. Well, let's do some announcements. We haven't even got to those because we had a couple of big ones here in the last couple of days.
Almost 30 minutes. Didn't even announce. Go ahead.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, well, that's kind of a big deal. It is with physical media because you guys are not wrong. If they take over, we don't know what the future of Warner Brothers films is going to look like on home video. Now we do know they're going to have to honor whatever deals they have with like Arrow and whoever else
like the next 5 years or whatever.
Right. And I wonder where that's going to put Groove, because Groove is one of the better and bigger outlets right now for Blu-rays and DVDs because they cover their Universal and Warner Brothers direct, source, and they handle, I think, Paramount and Sony titles as well. So I think the only ones they don't handle, I think, are, well, they also have Shout now and a few others. I think the only one they don't handle is Disney, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be even wrong on that. They might handle some Fox and Disney titles. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Sony is supposed to be handling their distribution now, and since I think they do handle Sony titles.
Mm-hmm.
But, so we got BMX. BMX Bandits is coming.
Yes, along with... Go ahead.
Not to be beaten by Rad last week.
Yeah. I was going to say that Umbrella is doing a BMX Rad Bandit set.
When is Gleaming the Cube going to get some love?
I don't know.
We need a Thrashing and Gleaming the Cube set. There you go.
It would be nice. It'd be nice.
Now, the other one that we kind of... Yeah, they haven't got Paramount yet, I don't think. I thought they did, but I guess they didn't. I was going to say, I know there was like one or two studios they haven't. And another one that was a big one that we kind of were expecting, but it was like, boom, it's coming out in a month, kids. And that's Leprechaun 4K Steelbook from Lionsgate. And I think that's only a Lionsgate limited release, if I'm not mistaken.
And you can also get it on VHS there, too.
Seriously? They got a VHS? I didn't even see
they're
that.
They're putting it on VHS, too.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. And the substitute 4K Vestron from Lionsgate Limited.
Oh, I didn't even see that, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. Might have to grab that later. I can't afford it right now.
Yeah, me neither. I'm saving money for my convention, so I haven't really bought much lately. So
yeah, I was hoping I could maybe get out to that, but now with the way things are going, I don't think that's going to happen necessarily. But other than that, what was there? I don't know if there was any other that at least I caught.
Criterion did release a set because I know I did see Body Heat.
That's right.
Yeah, most of them though I didn't know outside of Body Heat. So let me see if I can find what they were again. Other than like you said, other than Leprechaun and whatever I just said, Substitute. That was the only ones I really
Meet
saw.
the Fockers was another one that was
Meet the Fockers
dropped quietly on Groove, and will be out on 14th of April.
Yeah, and The Bride of Reanimator is getting a 4K from the same people that did Reanimator.
Oh,
I don't
nice.
know if we mentioned that before because that's
No, we did not. I don't think.
yeah. So the brighter that's been announced. Shout out to Rick as well who informed me on that. Because so yeah.
Okay, here I see the substitute. Buddy. That's all, folks. I
Yeah,
can't
that's
talk.
all. I'm trying to find the Criterion ones. I thought I could have sworn I saw some, but I don't remember what they were.
Nashville is finally getting a 4K. I didn't even see that. Oh no, it's just a Blu-ray. Are you kidding me, you dumb shits? It's had a 4K forever.
What is
I've
it?
had the digital 4K Nashville from Paramount.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's only going to be a Blu-ray release, which means they'll probably do a 4K next year.
Probably.
I ain't buying it. Fuck them. Stardust also is getting a 4K release.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I
The
can't.
Man Who Haunted Himself.
The man.
Studio
Who,
Canal, and Studio Canal is also pumping out. Where did I see here? Shit, where'd it go? I just had it here and I lost it. Oh, Leaving Las Vegas.
oh yeah.
So that means we'll probably get a U.S. release of those for sooner than later.
Probably.
Throw Mama from the Train finally got a date, it looks like, from Kino.
Yeah. I think we
otherwise,
did
looks like-
mention it, didn't we?
We've mentioned it, but I don't think it had a date before. But yeah, like, I believe that's...
Yeah, that's
Dark
what-
Blue was one of the other ones, a 4K from Australian release, though, I think.
Oh, here's the Criterion ones.
There you go.
Sentimental Value, a film by Joachim Trier.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, Lawrence Kasdan film, Body Heat, as Doba Fett mentioned. Dustin Hoffman and Lenny.
Oh, that's right, Lenny, yeah.
Yeah. And The Delta. Never heard
Oh,
of
I
it.
have it now. I found it now that you...
Yeah. I just found it too.
Seriously, I just found it like here. Stray Dog is another one that's coming out. Fresh Kill, Sentimental Value, you said.
Yeah.
Peter Hujar's Day, I think you said that one. And The Delta,
Yeah.
you said that. All right,
Matter
that's-
of fact, I don't know if it's coming up. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Tom.
No, you're fine. I didn't say nothing to say.
Criterion, I don't know if I think it's still going, and they have a 30% off 4K sale right now on all their 4Ks.
Do
And
they?
that
Well,
includes
30%, not 50%.
not
so.
50%. It's a 30% off. It's only a couple day sale.
The Walk is getting a
Yeah.
4K release.
The Walk.
Have you seen that one before?
No, I have not.
It is the only non-CGI movie that Robert Zemeckis directed in like the last 20 fucking years. It was actually pretty good.
Oh, I haven't even seen it.
And I only saw it mainly because I was familiar with the documentary that it's, you know, the actual event that it's based on. It's about this guy who walked across the Twin Towers like a half a dozen times.
Oh yeah.
And it was shot in 3D or whatever. And it's a really good 3D movie. So, but it's never been a 4K release before. So, like, oh, okay. So it's just getting a standard 4K release, I guess. Okay.
Sucks that no 3D for you.
I already got it on 3D.
Oh,
so,
that's right.
yeah.
Yes, you said you'd.
Yeah, but it's a really good 3D. Like it's one of those movies that are more of a reference quality. I mean, especially unless you're
absolutely.
afraid of heights, then you probably get vertigo.
So, no, I can't. I'm gonna fall. What's his name in Vertigo? Jimmy Stewart.
I'm too high up for this.
I'm too high,
I think I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Ow.
And just so you know, I found that there's the Leprechaun VHS.
I don't like that. They should have made it look like the original.
You think they would? I don't. Yeah, I don't like them looking through the board.
In fact,
like
I would
that.
like it if it was from the original master for the
Yeah.
VHS. I think it would mean more, but that's just me.
Yeah, but anyways, there you have it. Is that the Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in that? Is that who that is?
Which one?
The Wall.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I may have seen a poster for that. I'm remembering something.
I mean, the movie's pretty basic. And especially if you've seen the documentary it's based on, you pretty much know exactly what happens. So
Yeah.
like, it's this guy who does really, you know, crazy fucking tightrope shit. And he fucking goes up the fucking Twin Towers and he walks across and the cops are like, we're going to fucking arrest you. He's like, all right, I'm going to do it again. And he's like, does it again. And then he does it again. And then he does it again until finally they arrest him or whatever. Like, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know this movie. I know this movie now. Yeah, I know that. I haven't seen it, but I know.
I
This
say he
movie.
does it like a half a dozen times before they finally get him. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it for all the upcoming releases. I was looking again. I didn't see even. I know there was a.
It's weird because it's one I've been eyeballing to watch
Mhm.
for a while now, but it's like I got to be in the right mood for a 3D movie because then I got to go
Right.
upstairs and do all that business. So,
Get
yeah.
it all set up for you. For
Well,
you.
it's technically all set up. I got to make sure my glasses are all charged up. And
Okay.
a lot of times I just put in contacts, so it's a lot easier than fumbling with my glasses and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Glasses over glasses and all that business.
Yeah, that's why. That's honestly, that's one of the reasons why I've never got into 3D.
That's why I do contacts. But I tried asking because it's just polarized 3D for the non. The problem is if you have an active 3D one, then you're screwed no matter what. You're gonna have to just either do contacts or just watch it with your glasses. But like the polarized 3D, which is on the passive 3D, like, which is basically what's in most theaters. Like I was asking around like at eyeglass places that can't I just get prescription lenses that are that. And believe it was kind of difficult to get people to do that, which is weird. So yeah, but
Yeah.
I guess the best I could do is I guess I could buy like these sticker things I could put over my glasses. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know how well that would work. And I don't want to ruin a whole pair of glasses just in case.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would want to do that.
Now glasses are a little bit more cheaper now that you can get them online, all that business.
Yeah, I need my lenses are all scratched to crap. I need new.
See, that's what I like is I'll go because like, my insurance will cover my visit and a pair of cheap shit glasses. But then after I get my prescription, then I'll generally go get, good deals on some decent frames. And I've done it a couple times now, but I need to do it again once I got to get this eyeglass thing checked. But anyhow, enough of that shit. Let's get into our fucking show. Can you tell I drank a fucking THC shot?
Tom's raring to go tonight, boys. Well, since you're still ready to go and you got more than me as usual, because I'm
right.
lazy.
I don't know if you're lazy. You just have a lot more going on. I do a lot more hurry up and waiting than you do, I'm sure. So yeah, let's shit, where do I start?
Whatever you want to go.
Let's do this one since last week I talked about the 4K a gambler with
you finally watched it.
James Caan.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that I finally watched it, I just finally got it in the mail.
Yeah.
So it took forever for some fucking reason. But I got the Mark Wahlberg version of The Gambler starring John Candy. John Goodman and Brie fucking Larson.
Oh, Brie Larson's in that one?
Yeah, I didn't realize it. And then Michael Kenneth Williams is also in it, and Jessica Lange. And it's directed by Rupert Wyatt. Now, I don't know if you recognize the name or not.
Sounds familiar.
He's the guy who did the Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Ah, okay, yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
Oh, really?
I mean, I've never read the novel, so I don't know how different each version is from the novel, but it's weird because, like, outside of like hitting some of the major beats that the original James Caan one did, it's almost practically not a remake in a lot of ways because the characters are different in so many different ways and the ending is way different. And it's a kind of a different look at the whole thing. It's very modernized in comparison, but not in a bad way.
Right.
It's actually a pretty good movie. And Brie Larson isn't even that obnoxious. If anything, the problem with her is that they just give her character way too goddamn much in comparison to her counterpart in the original. Right? Like, in the original, her character that she's basically the same one as pops up, I think, 3 times in the entire fucking movie, basically, whenever James Caan needs a place to crash and fuck. But, like, here, there's a lot more build-up and a little bit more romance and some other things between the two. But that being said, I don't know if I'd say it's better, but it's a lot more watchable.
It's more for the general masses.
Yeah, in a sense of it's more straightforward. Like the James Caan one kind of meanders in itself a little bit, and it's just a product of the time, right? Like it feels like one of those movies of the 70s, a very, very, very 1970s film. This, on the other hand, the characters are so different in a sense of James Caan, I believe, is in I'm trying to remember the original version in comparison to this now, just so I can kind of get this out of my system correctly. But the James Caan version, it's more like a guy spiraling out of control when he thinks he has control all the time. and he doesn't realize that he's headed for a suicidal situation. Marky Mark is almost like he's asking somebody else to commit suicide for him, to the point where they actually bring it up in the movie at one point. Because like I'm sitting here going like, no, this guy is like a fucking masochist. Basically, he likes losing, and they even say that too. It's like this weird thing with him, and it's like he can win if he wants to. It's like how the movie's kind of set up. It's kind of weird in that respect. So like that's what I'm saying. It's like it has a lot of differences, but it's still similar in a lot of its. I wouldn't say the messages, but just kind of some of the characters, the beats, some of the motivations, but not exactly.
Right.
But it is one of those movies where you're like, okay, this is how you remake a movie, even though I've never read the book, so I have nothing to compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
But you have an actor who's on the same caliber as James Caan, and you have a great supporting cast for the most part. It all works on a remake level that I can recommend it highly. I mean, I was kind of surprised at how good it really kind of was.
Nice.
And I wasn't even put off by the quote-unquote happier ending, not to get too spoilery. But it kind of does kind of have like this... And the way it comes together is like it has all the same kind of similar shit as the original film, but it all comes together differently.
Right.
And the way it works out. And it kind of works out in a way that is more satisfying to a modern audience. Let's put it that way. I think you were right to put it
for
that
like
way.
the more general modern audience film. I bet most people probably didn't even realize it was a remake, to be honest with you, when they saw it. So
no, and I have a feeling a lot of people won't. Kind of like that accountant movie that just came out.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing.
Yeah. You wouldn't even believe how many people thought The Fall Guy was an original movie. It's like I saw so many people.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit gray area because it's like a prequel-ish of a TV series, but like...
Yeah, but it's still like, that's supposed to be that TV show. So, but no, I get what your point. So it sounds like it's not like a bad movie. And yeah, Brie Larson back at that time, she wasn't as insufferable as she is now. So
this was 2014, I think.
When did I don't even remember when Captain Marvel came out.
16.
So yes, that was right before she was about to become insufferable. So yeah. All right. Well, that's at least you finally got it in the mail. Finally got to watch it. And now here's a question for you. I think I don't know if you said this or not, but which one do you prefer more?
I respect the James Caan version for what it is and the time that it came out. So it's kind of difficult to say like which one is better.
Yeah. So I was saying, which one do you prefer?
But the one I'll turn around and probably watch again, if I ever watch one again, will be the Marky Mark one.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
For various reasons, but most of all, just because it's a much more watchable film in a lot of ways. It's just, there's things about, look, I love 70s films, and a lot of times I have no issues with 70s isms, especially if they're movies that kind of meander like that, but it's just a tougher watch, and the character's less likable. So that's the whole thing, is like, by the end of the film, you fucking hate James Caan's character. And he's not a real likable guy to begin with, but whatever redeemable values he has at the beginning of the movie are completely gone by the end. That doesn't happen to Marky Mark. His is more of a redemption arc from a guy, like I said, a guy who literally just was trying to commit, Yeah. Not to say the word again, but through other means, let's say. So, like, whether it's, the cops doing it, whether, not really the cops so much, but more or less that's like he's getting so in deep. And then there's another kind of thing that's kind of set up in this version that kind of, again, it feels like it's a more coherent, thought out story as opposed to the Caan one where it just feels like things that are randomly happening to this guy until it all comes to a complete head. To where this all feels a bit more connected. Right. Like in the beginning of the movie, it starts out with Marky Mark's grandfather passing away. Of course, he comes from a wealthy family. And Marky Mark's grandfather's all like, well, I want to see how you can be a man with nothing, because that's what I'm leaving you. Right. So I'm assuming at first Marky Mark had got himself, and he was kind of on this roll, right, for the longest time of being able to lose and doing the games that he plays, because he always thought he had this backup, whether it was mommy who would come and save him or when Grandpa would pass away, he would gonna get this big, huge fucking settlement,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
inheritance. Sorry, but that didn't happen, and
Right.
that kind of sets this whole thing in motion. And it isn't specific, but you kind of get that as the gist right off the bat, because then from that moment forward, it's Mark going through this spiral of, just putting himself deeper and deeper in debt to the point it's like, are you trying to get killed? Like, that's what everybody's like saying to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's lying to everybody in his life. And Brie Larson's kind of attracted more to the chaoticness of his life. And it's like, girl, if you really knew what you were getting yourself into here. And she kind of does figure out some of it, but it's like that part, if anything, I could have felt like it would have been left. I would have cut out. Like I said, it doesn't really serve the story's purpose all that well, especially when you get to the end of the movie.
Right.
Like the way the end of the movie plays out, which is really good in comparison to the original one. I prefer it. And again, I don't know which one is closer to the novel. I would assume probably the original, because this one probably has been reworked more so.
Yeah.
But yeah, like at the end of the day, can I recommend it? Clearly, yes. It's got a really great John Goodman performance in it. He's got a great fucking speech in this one that I mean, I can kind of paraphrase it really well, but that's about as best as I can do. But you should seek it out if you haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this world was built on fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
he goes like, you want to be where you can tell me fuck you. Right. And he goes through this whole speech about, this whole thing. It's great. It's fucking amazing. And he just nails it and sends it home, because it's just this whole idea of, you want to put yourself in a position in life where you can tell everybody fuck you.
Right.
Right. But it's not in a sense of like being a dick. He's like, America was built on fuck you.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Like,
I get what you mean. Yeah.
The whole, the whole gist of it. Like, it's this great speech that he leads up to that kind of whole thing. And yeah, it's one of those moments that you don't get too often in movies nowadays.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I miss movies like that when they would be able to do stuff like that. Movies. It just it seems like everybody's all cookie cutter, safe, play it safe so much anymore. Nothing is tried hardly at all.
Let me see how long this is, because it'll probably get you in trouble.
Yeah, probably, because I've had to erase a couple things a few times.
Yeah, it's like, wait, maybe it's only a minute. Okay. You think a minute will get you in too much trouble?
Probably,
You don't want
probably
to,
won't
just
get
say
me. Probably won't get me in trouble. I'll just probably cut it out. So.
We'll have to be cut out. Like, if you come and see this later,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden there's nothing here, and we're just talking about, like, yeah, now you know why.
Yeah.
You get up $2.5 million. Any asshole in the world knows what to do. You get a house with a 25-year roof, an indestructible Jap economy shitbox. You put the rest into the system at 3 to 5% to pay your taxes, and that's your base. Get me? That's your fortress of fucking solitude. That puts you for the rest of your life at a level of fuck you. Somebody
Oh,
wants
that's
you
the
to
end
do
of the
something.
speech. God damn it.
This is the end of it. Happy.
Well, here's part of it still. But that's not the whole big part of the speech
Yeah, that's it.
I wanted.
I get you. I get you though.
Oh, here it is. Okay, sorry. I am so sorry, guys.
No worries.
But this will help you out better, because then I'm not playing the whole thing in one fell swoop either.
Okay.
Did your grandfather take risks?
Yes.
I guarantee he did it from a position of fuck you. A wise man's life is based around fuck you. The United States of America is based on fuck you. You're a king. You have an army, greatest navy in the history of the world. Fuck you, blow me. Fuck it up ourselves, which we have done. Beautiful fuck you position, lost forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole scene, like, all together is like 5 minutes, but that's like the best part of it right there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
like,
I get where you come. That's pretty
if that
good.
doesn't sell you on this movie, then yeah, like that, because
Yeah,
he's the
yeah.
guy that he goes to, like, as his last resort, but he's the guy that he's like, you're not the one. I'm not the guy that you want to fuck
Yeah, yeah.
over, but
Right.
you are. I am the guy that you want to say fuck you to,
Right.
which means he's like, go out there, get your money back, come pay me back right away, and say fuck you.
Yeah. He's always been such a good actor. Always been a good actor.
Oh yeah, and you got these two dueling, and really Marky doesn't do anything in that scene at all but react. Like, and it's not even really like major reaction, but that's what a good actor does, right? They get the fuck out of the way of the other guy when they know
yeah,
they're
just
supposed to.
let him do it. Let him do his thing. All right. Well, I do like his 70s hair. He does sort of have 70s hair in that.
Yeah, and it's a modern film, but the weird thing is almost all the music, from what I can tell, is like remakes of old songs. So it is kind of odd at times. But yeah,
That's weird.
it kind of has this weird vibe to it that is kind of like, oh, we're kind of evoking this 70s thing, but yet it's definitely modern. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. I guess I could go for my first pick, unless you. I mean, how many did you say you had altogether?
I technically have 4 more.
I got.
Go ahead and do one.
Okay, I'll do it. I got 3. I don't know where to go off that, so I'll just use this one first. I got Brain Smasher, Love Story, starring Terry Hatcher and Andrew Dice Clay. This is a German release. Shout out to
I knew
Rick.
I should have watched it.
Shout out to Rick, because this is the German release. There is no Blu-ray. I don't even think there's a DVD in the U.S., so it's only a German release there. But yeah, I love this movie. It's directed by Albert Pyun, and I would be interested if they ever do a like he brought on the Captain America one, and they said that he's also doing the
His estate or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, they did Captain America version, and they did the Cyborg version, the director's cut. There's more to this movie that we have never seen, because if you actually watch the trailer, there's a bunch of scenes in the trailer for this movie that are not in this movie at all. Not at all. Like this scene, like, because she talks about how the because that's the plot of the story. I love this movie. It's so cheesy, so campy, so like, and it's like a film noir at the same time.
I have no idea what the fuck it is with this movie, because I've only seen it like once or twice years ago, and I wish I'd have rewatched it now because I got it too from Rick. Thank you very much, by the way.
Oh, nice.
And I did. I grabbed it like twice, and I thought about watching it.
Oh,
But it's
so
like,
fun.
I'm not sure if I remember liking it or not, because it was almost kind of like a follow-up to Ford Fairlane, because it almost has kind of like a... It's not a sequel, right?
No,
but it has like a... I mean, I don't know if maybe they advertised it like it was going to be a similar movie or what, but like, I remember seeing it on Cinemax. It premiered on Cinemax, and I just don't remember liking it very much, and I don't remember why.
I don't know. I've always loved this movie.
I got to
And
rewatch it though. Like, I could have just, maybe it just caught me, like I was expecting something different. I don't know.
maybe you were expecting like Ford Fairlane, because it's not Ford Fairlane at all. Not even. There's like hardly any cussing in it to boot as well too. Like he does that, like making jokes like that, you know. So it's very different, but it's also Albert Pyun, so it's cheesy and campy and B movie. Period.
Who
You
actually
know?
owns it though? Like
That's what I'm curious about, because it was a Trimark film, I believe, and
well, then they probably own it, which would mean Lionsgate owns it probably.
that's what I was thinking. Maybe Lionsgate has it, but the German release was released by Cult Classic Film Cinema, is what it has at the beginning of it and everything. But other than that, there's no other. You know what I mean? I have
Look,
no
and a lot of
clue
foreign
it.
releases are very questionable.
True. It's very true. Very true. But I love this movie. I mean, the movie is essentially and Chosen from Karate Kid is the villain. He's the bad guy. So the plot of the story is Terry Hatcher is a supermodel, and her sister is a botanologist or whatever who does like flowers and everything. She discovered this flower that grows in the snow, that if whoever eats the flower gets this like mind controlling power and everything. And the guy Chosen and his crew of Chinese monks are trying to get it, and they keep calling them ninjas, which is hilarious. So like she gets to Portland, Oregon, where Dice Clay is, and she bumps into him. He's a bouncer at a thing, and so she basically hooks up with him and hires him to protect her from these warrior monks, so she can get to her sister. And that's the plot of the movie. And it's and he's very much like they're falling in love with each other and everything as it goes on and everything. It's very funny. But like I was saying, like if you watch the trailer for this and then watch the movie, there's tons of footage in that trailer that is completely cut out of the movie. Like there's like a scene in the trailer that shows the flower growing in the snow, to where her sister finds it or whatever. That's not even in this movie. That's not even part of the movie. So there's clearly lots of stuff cut out of this, but it's very funny. And I've always had a thing for Terry Hatcher ever since I saw her on Tango and Cash, and then this, and Lois and Clark and Star Trek, The Next Generation. So I've always had a thing for Terry Hatcher. She was like one of my first celebrity like crushes. And she's really great in this, and she's funny, and she plays very, very well off Andrew Dice Clay. They hold their own. She holds her own against it very well. But then again, this movie is not like to be taken serious. It's very goofy. Like there's a whole scene where they're in the police station. They go to the police to try to tell them what's going on, and the police don't believe them, and the police are interrogating them like they're the criminals. And the cops are Tim Thomerson from Trancers. Charles Rocket is one of the cops, and it's like a bunch of like these character actors, and it's like they're like wearing like the old hats and the police like the suits and everything, like not police suits, but like suits and everything, and they're smoking. It's very goofy, it's very goofy. It's just I have a lot of fun with this movie every time I watch it, and I've only had it on VHS for years because it's never been released in America on a DVD, I believe. Not even on I don't believe there's ever been a DVD of the Brain Smasher release, and it's
maybe
only
it is in kind of limbo somewhere.
Yeah, so it's only ever been. And what's his name told me that what I found out about a long time ago from Robert Meyer Burnett's Physical Media show. The guy that's with him. I can't think of his name right now. He's German. But the guy that's on his show, he's the one that told me it's only got a release in Germany. So, and I was glad Rick found it and got it for me. So shout out to you, Rick. I appreciate it. It looks really good. The scan out of the movie actually doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty decent for this movie. It's a 90s movie. So yeah, I know it's Trek, not track. It's same when I say horror and horror. So they sound the same. That's just the way I talk. I'm from the Midwest. That's how we talk in the Midwest. What can I say? I wanted Terry's boobs, right? So, but yeah, if you've never seen it.
He means actually have them like surgically.
Oh.
No, I don't know. I'm just kidding.
He just kind of ran his course. By the time he got to the point where he was really big and made Ford Fairlane, his stick was kind of over, and people had moved on.
He kind of got known for also just kind of being, I think, difficult in some respects.
Mm-hmm.
Like from what I remember, like his character on, was it Entourage?
Yeah,
where he plays himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've heard that's a lot of stuff like is similar to what he was like in real life too. So
yeah, he seems like one of those guys.
So I don't know. Like, I mean, back at the time, you got to remember, and I think he even did. See, this is why I think it's true, because I remember him talking about this in an interview like a few years back here, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
Is like he was talking about how like it just all came at so sudden with the fame. Like him and Sam Kinison and a few other guys became like these quote unquote rock star comedians,
mm-hmm.
right? Like they were on this whole other level, and he's not wrong. And he was like the Elvis of the rock star comedians, right?
Yep.
And then it just all kind of popped one night, and you're not wrong. Like it was just like overnight, all of a sudden it's like, no, we're done with this kind of shit.
Yeah. It's good. It's kind of move on.
And Dice was kind of like the one who got the brunt of most of that. Like I'm sure Kinison, had he lived, would have been fine, and some of the other guys, but like you're not wrong. Like Dice, the problem is he was almost kind of like, because he isn't exactly the guy that he plays on stage, right? Like the guy he plays in the movies, but I think he kind of admitted that he slowly became that just out of the fact that, you know, he became this overnight sensation the way he did. And,
mm-hmm.
you know, he had all these offers overnight to do all this shit. And the next thing you know, it just all dried up.
Yeah.
And nobody was into Andrew Dice Clay anymore.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. And I think he was talking about like how, you know, overnight he would playing like huge arenas type, you know, places. And then the next thing you know, he's only barely can get into little clubs and shit. And it just happens sometimes with these kind of acts and comedians, like whatever their shtick is. Pauly Shore's another great example of that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, where you wear out your shtick, and that's kind of what Dice did. Is he kind of had a shtick. Even Bobcat Goldthwait knew when to put it away. Right? He's like, enough's enough. I'm not going to do the wild man or whatever the fuck it is you want to call his voice anymore.
Yeah.
And he doesn't.
And he moved on to directing. So
yeah, and when he does do acting, he just talks in a normal voice anymore.
he does
normally.
Yeah.
So yeah, and speaking of Paulie, that's going to come up again here in a little bit. But
Okay.
you know, I was going to compare it more to Pee Wee Herman in a way, or Elvira, right? Because like, how are those two unable to kind of like disconnect? Like, it took a long time for Paul Reubens to find work outside of Pee Wee because he was so synonymous with Pee Wee.
Yeah.
And I'm sure what's her face had a hard time getting other work outside of Elvira. Well, she maybe a little less. It's a little easier for her to slip in and out of that.
Yeah, she was a little easier. And plus,
Visage,
she
but-
lasted for so long. So,
But that's the thing, is like when she takes off the Elvira costume, you barely can tell it's the same person
Yeah,
until
it
she
doesn't
kind of
look like
speaks or somebody goes, by the way, that's the same chick who played. No, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
she's a
But Paul
redhead.
Reubens, you can tell it's Paul Reubens,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's kind of hard not to.
and I mean, like even when they disguised it with the long hair and the goatee for Buffy and everything. So,
That is like the one time that you're probably the farthest next to maybe Blow, but even Blow, you can tell it's him.
yeah.
Buffy is the one time where you can barely tell it's him, and the only reason a lot of people probably could is because fucking sad part is that's when he got busted, was when
Yeah.
he had that hairdo, and that's why he looked like that in that
Yeah.
fucking photo. And it's like, poor guy, he got the worst situation out of that whole thing. It's like,
Poor
looks like a
Pee-wee.
vagrant fucking in a porn theater jerking off. Like, what the fuck?
Why? No.
What happened to
Oh,
Pee-wee?
no.
It's like, no, actually his career's doing great. This was a fucking disaster for him, though. Like,
Yeah. Oh man. Good night, John the Beagle Dad. Thanks for hanging with
let's
us.
go back to the quaint days when these guys got caught in porn theaters jerking off and not on Epstein Island.
Yeah, right. By the way, Charlie Sheen is not on the list.
Not surprised in a weird way.
Yeah.
He always kind of had a pretty specific type.
Yeah.
That's why I don't buy any of that Corey Feldman bullshit, but I'm not
Oh, I don't.
that.
Yeah, well, but yeah, Andrew Dice Clay can act. I think that's also like what Tom was alluding to. Is the problem is like he got so into that character that he played of the Dice, because that wasn't really him. That he actually became that character.
Yeah.
He got too into it. Yeah. So
No,
he
his
is a
real
solid
life
actor.
persona is closer to what he was on Entourage, was my understanding.
Yeah. Yep. But no, if you guys have not seen Brain Smasher, if you can, I don't know if it's like streaming in it. I don't believe it's streaming anywhere, but it might be on video on demand. I don't know.
Most people don't even know it exists anymore. I don't
Exactly.
think.
I'm one of the few people that know about this movie outside of Tom. So like, I love the movie. I personally, it's just really so just, I don't know what it is about this movie. It's not like, don't go into this movie expecting like seeing like a 4-star movie, because it's not a 4-star movie. It's probably a 1.5-star movie, but I love it because it's cheesy, campy, dumb. Terry Hatcher's hot. I always had a crush on her. Andrew Dice Clay is really good in this movie as well as like the bouncer who's like soon as she hires him to watch over her, he takes her to his parents' house just to meet his parents. You know, and it's just funny, this thing, and it's I don't know. You guys got to see the movie. It's because like all these jokes and the way it comes together, and it's Albert Pion. If you don't know who Albert Pion is, he did the original Captain America. He did Cyborg. He did that the Sword and the Sorcerer.
He's got one of the most interesting careers.
Yeah, he does all these like canon films, like the cheesy.
But it's
like he became
yeah,
a
because it's not like he's a
vision.
visionary necessarily, but he's a guy who's like, okay,
Yeah, he's like, I'll do it.
all right, I'll do it. Whatever you want, sir. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like what ends up happening out of it is kind of like, huh? Because that was kind of my weird experience with Captain America. Because it's like, if you listen to people talk about it, like to Albert, it was like this, like of all the things that it sounded like he had done, that was the one thing that seems like it really kind of hurt him in a weird way. But then you watch both versions, you're like, dude, they did you a fucking favor. Chill out, man. Like, the other version would have not gotten you the love that the version that we know, at least the versions, period, plural, because I guess there is a couple different versions of it, but it's pretty much the same movie. Because that's the thing, is I'm watching this thing, I'm like, it's the same fucking movie, it's just out of order. And then once you change the order, you lose some of the scenes that drag the movie down a little bit. So that's not a bad thing. And to me, I'm like, okay, so Albert wanted to make Pulp Fiction. That's great, but it's not Pulp Fiction, man.
Here's Captain America.
It's Captain America. And the way it's told doesn't work, and this way it works better. And that's kind of where they even stole the same kind of idea and blueprint for the first Avenger, which I'll still argue is one of the better Marvel films.
I agree with you on
It
that.
doesn't get enough love, so yeah.
I believe it's underrated. No, I agree, because like even like before all this stuff came up about the director's cut and everything, like the actor that played Captain America, he said like he talked to, before an interview, he's like, what I signed on to do was a very different movie, because for them, yeah, it's good acting, because there was a lot of this dialogue, a lot of this like no action or anything happening or something. To them, anyways. I'm not saying that the dialogue was great.
I know,
but,
I know. And
like,
a lot of these kind of things I think are on the disc too. It's like they're talking about even on or the original and whatever. And it's like that movie you guys think that existed did not exist.
No, they were thinking like they were making like Citizen Kane and stuff. With,
You
like,
may have thought that.
Yeah. it's a comic book movie from the 90s.
Don't get me wrong, I love it. I've always loved
too.
it since I
love it
first
too.
saw it. I was like, whoa, there's a Captain America movie. I found it on Showtime. I think it was at a hotel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Okay, I'm gonna watch this. And it was like fucking okay, it was pretty good. It was a Captain America movie.
Yeah.
Didn't know it existed, just saw it. Far as I know, it followed the character pretty well. I wasn't like an avid Captain America fan, but I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what I remember from what I've seen in cartoons and other things in the past here and whatever. I mean, yeah, I know the Red Skull wasn't Italian or whatever, but hey, you know, it is what it is. I had no idea that was a canon feature, basically offshoot. But yeah, no, like Albert, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a much like that seems to be his MO, man.
Yeah.
Like he shoots movies much bigger than what they are, or a whole different thing. Like even Cyborg has a completely different cut. I have never heard about this one though.
I guarantee you this has got some. Because
It may, but
go watch the trailer. There's so many. Well, if you guys see the movie,
I wonder if it was more of a work for hire thing again for Albert on this one though. I think Dice probably had the most control over the movie.
Yeah. I mean, like even like the opening of the movie clearly looks like it was not supposed to be the original opening of the movie. You know what I mean?
What probably happened is it probably got a very bad test screening. So they went back and did some reshoots. And like I said, chances are between either the studio or whoever owned it at the time, because I don't think Trimark would have cared that much. But I'm sure Dice had some sort of sway, or his producers or whoever it was that made it. If Trimark picked it up, that's probably where they just picked it up.
Yeah,
maybe
I
been
believe
something that somebody dumped for who knows. Yeah, for who knows. Like, yeah, I have no idea what the history of this film is. I never really looked into it.
That's why I would love
a brief kind of brush with it. So yeah.
Yeah, but like the opening of the movie, you can clearly tell was filmed after the movie. The way this opens up, I guarantee there was supposed to be a much bigger, larger opening to it, because like the opening of the movie is just Andrew Dice Clay. He's standing there in front of a payphone in the daylight, and he's like, he picks it up and he calls somebody. He's like, dude, I got to tell you about something that happened to me last night. Listen to me. The guy hangs up and he's like, and then the phone rings again and he answers it. Mom, how'd you get my number? I'm standing next to the payphone. Listen, mom, I'm not moving back in. And he hangs up and then he looks at the camera and he goes, oh, I'll tell you guys what happened. So this is what happened to me last night. And it goes into the movie, right? So, and you can clearly tell that, because even the way he looks, that was shot after the movie and added in as the opening to set up the movie. So, you know, I guarantee there's other. I would like to see maybe a restaurant or something with deleted scenes and stuff. There's no way you're getting Terry Hatcher to talk about this movie.
I can surmise some shit out of this, but
yeah, like they said, like there's no way you're getting Terry Hatcher to talk about this movie. Albert Pyun's dead. You might be able to get Andrew Dice Clay to talk a little bit about the movie, but I personally would like it, whether they hated the movie or not. I don't care, because I like the movie and they can hate the movie. I don't give a shit either way.
Here's my plausible possibility coming from what just you told me. I'm again in my fuzzy memory of the film. My guess is they made this movie maybe either independently or through a studio system. In the meantime, Dice's stock fell, so they put the movie in turnaround. Fucking somebody picked it up. In the meantime, they did some test screenings. And the movie was probably just called Brain Smasher.
Probably was.
And at one point they're like, look, the movie kind of stinks as far as a comedy, but you got like this little romantic love story thing going on with Terry Hatcher, and she's real big with. When did this movie come out?
I want to say 1990. I'm looking.
Was it right on the cusp of or around the same time that fucking
It was right
Lois
before,
and Clark premiered?
I believe it was right before she became Lois and Clark. So,
well, they probably knew that was on the horizon, or they probably, because I think they banked on that with the whole thing on Cinemax, because like making it a big deal. So like that was what I'm saying.
It said 93. I think that's the same year Lois and Clark premiered.
Okay, so yeah, so what they probably did then is they're like, okay, amp up this part, get rid of all this other shit, and call it a love story, and then they added that beginning that you're talking about, and maybe even a new ending and some other, connective tissue throughout to kind of set it up like a love story.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what is his job in the movie? I'm trying to remember
He's a
now.
Bouncer. He's a bouncer.
A bouncer, that's right. And yeah, so like,
honestly, it's a Terry Hatcher movie more than his movie.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. Because my memory of it is like I'm going back in the time into when it came out and everything, how they kind of promoted it, and knowing Trimark and how they probably said, get rid of everything else, amp up anything and everything that's Terry Hatcher, and just get rid of all the other shit. Probably. And make it like a rom-com kind of thing is probably what they told him.
And I guarantee you, because and even like I was mentioning, like the cops that they hired, like Tim Thomerson and Charles Rocket, even though they're not big names, they're sort of big names in these low budget films. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe
Charles Rocket was still pretty big with Saturday Night Live. What was it? The other guy's name?
Tim Thomerson from Trancers.
Oh yeah. Well, Tim Thomerson was pretty well known through television and some other things.
I feel like maybe their parts were supposed to be a little bit bigger, and like they were supposed to be known a little more in the movie.
Cameos.
But yeah, they're yeah. But I like the movie. I like the movie. But
again, I was just speculating with that, but that's my guess is probably. And
You're
Albert's somebody who just
right.
plays balls.
You're probably
so plays
right.
balls. No, plays ball. Sorry, he plays ball, so he's not going to sit there and argue and shit. So he'll just be like, "Yeah, do whatever the fuck you want."
You're more than likely you are right. More than likely you are right. So, but anyways, that was
the two films I think he was most connected to personally. I think were Captain America and Cyborg.
I think
because I don't think he was even that connected to Masters of the Universe. I would think it was the whole point of he saw the opportunity to tell an original tale, and he kind of had this story already kind of probably floating around in the back of his mind a little bit.
I mean, at one point in the time in canon, he was set to direct like Spider-Man and all kinds of tons of their movies.
Well, that's kind of how that movie came about, right? Like it was and this is where most people misunderstand it. It was the sets and costumes for Spider-Man and Masters of the Universe, but it's a wholly original story made by Albert.
Yeah.
Andre and I are pretty sure, though, considering what we know about his script, or the script that was meant for Masters of the Universe 2 and what they did with Captain America, I'm pretty sure they repurposed a lot of that script for Captain America.
Yeah. Good night, Psych. Good night, your daddy.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we only got to 2 movies in your time.
Yeah, 2 movies and it was an hour. Good night, Psych. Good night, your daddy. Tom's in a talkative mood tonight, which I like. So let's go to you, Tom.
I haven't brought out the old pipe.
No, what do you got, Gandalf?
That's right. Where do we go next here? I'm going to save that one for last.
San Francisco? No.
Are you going to Sam Clam's disco? All right. This one is a new one from Warner Brother. I got this one, but I didn't get the other one.
All the President's Men.
The one I could have gave a shit about so much is like, I like it just because the actors that are in it and the movie's okay. But I'm pretty sure like some of it's bullshit.
I mean, Bill Murray said so himself.
Yeah, and I know like Dustin Hoffman's character is not like Dustin Hoffman's probably smarter than his character because I've seen him in real life. Like in that movie, they're very generous, very generous. So that being said, no, the movie itself though is kind of an interesting it's almost, how do I put it? It's one of those movies that's been satirized so many times with Deep Throat and all that kind of business, and because it's based around actual events, and people make such a big deal out of Watergate, and then you kind of look back now and things that politicians have gotten in trouble for in the last 30 years since, 50 years
Some of this
since, or
shit
whatever.
Obama, Biden, and Trump have all done.
It's like you look at it like, look, Nixon was probably guilty of a hell of a lot worse shit than what he got in trouble for. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not trying to paint Nixon as any kind of fucking saint. Don't get me fucking wrong. But, like, when this is like the least of it, right? Like, this is almost, like, honestly, like, I can't remember that senator who said it, but what was it? What's her face? But, where she's like, I want a list of all the fucking Trump donors and shit like that. It's like, you do realize what she just asked for was almost as bad as what Watergate was, if not maybe worse.
Exactly.
Like, that was what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys not understanding. Like, they're just washing over that like it's fucking nothing. It's like, yet they'll still hold Nixon up on this fucking pedestal. This evil fucking guy. It's like, look,
Yeah.
he did a lot worse shit than that. Like, if we're gonna fucking crucify this guy, let's get this shit right. Watergate was a fucking wash, man. Like, that was like fucking peanuts.
Yeah.
Okay, and he had very little to probably even do with that at the end of the day, outside of, like, I think trying to cover it up was the worst part, right? Like, that was, I think, the bigger thing. But that's not even what here nor there. The movie itself, though, it is what it is. You got Robert Redford, Dustin Hoffman doing really well, great supporting cast full of character actors. As a movie, it's really well done. It looks really good for a Warner Brothers 4K release as of late. Like, but I'm wondering if this isn't an older scan, because it doesn't pop the way I would expect a movie that does look this filmic would pop.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's just the film stock of the time and the way it's shot. That could very well be.
Yeah, it was 76, so maybe.
Yeah, I think I'm also just wondering if it's just not an older scan.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be the case. And they just didn't fucking manipulate it really that much. I didn't really notice anything that really kind of stood out to me as any kind of anomalies. And quality-wise, as far as the grain structure and all that business, felt like a Sony scan. So I'm going like, okay, so that part's all intact. But it just kind of felt like a little bit older scan. It just didn't feel like it had the oomph that a lot of the newer 6K and 5K Warner Brothers scans have had. Because I do feel like they do benefit from that a little bit. And I feel like you can get away with, or get away from some of the grain issues that some people have in the studio system, or however you want to put it, that they feel like they got to fucking manipulate the shit. Because I still got to go back and watch it again. But I still swear The Fugitive is one of the greatest looking 4K discs I've ever seen. And that thing was scanned in, what was it, 8K or 16K? I can't even remember now.
Yeah, I think it was 8K.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I think it was actually 16, to be honest with you. But like, yeah,
Really?
I think so, if I remember right. It was like some astronaut, like, because Wizard of Oz and stuff like that was scanned in 8K years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think they bumped it up even higher for their bigger things. And they do 6K for their standard stuff. And then they're in between lesser stuff they've been doing 5K for.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so I've got a few things that have come from 5K scans and not 4K scans. But
Yeah.
That movie I just brought on last week, the house one, the scary one with the TV movie.
Yeah.
That comes from a 5K scan.
Yeah, from Warner Bros. Yeah, so you're not. Yeah, I guess you're not right or wrong. I mean, yeah, because I was trying to remember what it was when we did.
Warner Brothers has always been ahead of that. I mean, like I said, lately my issue with them has been just their DNR bullshit and some of the stuff that's been done to some of their titles lately.
Yeah.
Before this, they were one of the gold standards. They did a lot of the scans for people because a lot of their stuff they were doing at higher bit rate back then. So, like, yeah.
And yes, this is what Bill. That's what I was talking about. Bill Murray said that he's like when he read the first couple pages of their book, who wrote what is it? Because you got the movie on VHS with about John Belushi, John Belushi.
Yeah, Wired.
Wired. Yeah, they wrote the book Wired, and when Bill Murray read that, he said, "Oh, they framed Nixon."
I think just Woodward did. Yeah,
yeah, Woodward. He said also they framed Nixon. He said,
well, and the stupid thing is like, and you're watching, and again, I don't know the actual events exactly close enough to really kind of go one way or the other, and I've never read the book either.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, even in the movie itself, they're constantly chasing this thing, and they don't even really know if they got anything until near the end anyway. But everybody else is kind of scooping them on it already. But it's the difference is everybody else is kind of it's getting buried. Like their story's getting buried too, and that's kind of the whole point of this whole like rah freedom of the press thing. It's at the end of the story is the end of the whole thing, right? And I agree with it as a whole. But at the end of the day, it's like a lot of the stuff that like is going along with it is just they just got lucky. And if it wasn't for Deep Throat, none of this would have come to pass. And even after the fact, like there's like a documentary, I think even on here, where they question some of Deep Throat's motives. Because he got overlooked for the head of the FBI, because he was a guy from the inside of the FBI. So like, that's the thing, is like, if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have had any of this shit. Really, they'd had no dots to connect with anything. So it's kind of one of those things. I'm not trying to like take away from it. As far as a movie goes, it's a great movie. It deserves a 4K. It got it. Warner Brothers did right by it. I don't necessarily think it needed a steelbook, but I got it.
It's true.
I do like Dustin. Like Dustin Hoffman is up in my top, if not 5, maybe 10 actors. So like I'm like, that's the only reason, if anything, it's probably worthwhile.
Didn't he win an Oscar? Did they both win an Oscar?
I think they both did. In the movie, I think won Best Picture too, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, that's probably why they got the.
But that's because of Hollywood. It was like all anti-Nixon. So yeah,
they're all for that.
Like we think they were bad about Trump. They were just as bad about Nixon too back in the day. Don't get me wrong.
Very bad. Do you think the story is BS?
No, I don't think it's BS so much as, like I just said, they got lucky. They got lucky.
They got lucky. That's what I believe. Deep Throat
reached out to them, and they just happened to have enough dots to connect then to. Oh, Rocky won that year? Okay, good.
And I guess they didn't win Oscars either.
Good.
You think we got people out of the audience?
Dustin Hoffman would have been the only one I think that made, and even him, and this is not his best performance of all. He's just kind of playing. This is actually kind of most plain Dustin Hoffman you'll ever see. And maybe it's not just because the actual guy is kind of very just, I don't want to say Jewish, but he is it's just kind of like, so he's just kind of playing the role as just kind of a normal everyday Joe. So like,
right.
I don't think he's trying to emulate the real guy so much as just being a Dustin Hoffman.
Just trying to do it.
Yeah.
do an acting performance, not so much.
And really, considering Dustin Hoffman normally gets himself into these roles so deep, it is kind of surprising that he didn't do more with this.
Yeah.
But he just kind of plays the standard grungy writer, right? Like, he's fine with it. Like, I think the only other bit in the movie, I think, is he's always got a cigarette in his mouth, I think. But like, other than that, or in his hand, or one of the two, I think, if I remember right. But like, I don't know. It's a movie I've seen a couple times. It's never been a movie where I'm like, oh, it's a fucking amazing movie. In fact, I don't think I've owned a copy of it outside of video until now. And even then, I think it was a dub. I don't think I ever had, or off of Cinemax or something like that. I never actually owned a copy of this till now. So this would actually be my first copy I've ever owned of it. So yeah. Funny. She didn't look Jewish.
It look Jewish. Yeah, Hoffman was a great marathon man.
That's when I got to rewatch, because I got started on it and I just fell out of it. I don't know if I got lost or what the deal was, something about it. And this happens sometimes when I get disrupted with work and stuff with Andre and stuff. So
yeah. I've always been, like we mentioned earlier, I've always been curious about his movie Lenny, because he's playing the comedian Lenny Bruce.
Oh, it's good.
Right?
It's good. It's pretty good.
So like,
it's not a comedy.
I was curious. Yeah, I know that it's like, because it's about his life and everything. So like, I know it's
kind of a hard watch.
That's what. I was curious, like when he does the stand up, I know
Dustin's good in it though. Like it's one of his. I wouldn't say better. Like it's up there with a good Dustin Hoffman performance, definitely.
I mean, I know he does comedies, and I know Lenny Bruce's comedy was very different. And well, his comedy changed comedy to what we got. Speaking of leading to Andrew Dice Clay, Lenny Bruce,
right?
So
that is one I definitely will pick up when it goes on sale.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got 2. You got 3.
So should I do? Let's see here. Where could I go from there? How about I do this one and then you can do another one and then we'll do another one and then blah blah blah.
Okay.
I'll do one and then you can do another one.
All
right. I watched a movie that I've had a steelbook for a while, but the 4K was on sale recently, and I'm like, fuck it, even though I couldn't really afford it. But Battle Beyond the Stars from Corman, and I got the old steelbook here, Shout Blu-ray steelbook, which honestly I'm not that big of a fan of the art here.
Yeah, it's kind of just like all purple.
And this I actually kind of like, because as you can tell, it's a ripoff of a famous 70s film, Jaws. Clearly.
Sure. I'm gonna go with Star Wars, maybe, but
You sure?
it could be
But
Jaws.
let's be real.
Though.
It's a remake of Magnificent Seven slash Seven Samurai,
Yep.
and it pretty much follows it. In fact, I think Robert Vaughn plays the same fucking character in it. If I'm not, and that was like the coolest part of the movie for me, because honestly, this is I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I've never seen it. I mean, I think I've seen bits and pieces of it over the years, but it was just one of those movies. And what's weird is I think it's probably, even by whatever standards, I'm sure he's spent more by now, but it's probably the most expensive Roger Corman movie ever made if you go by inflation. I would be willing to bet. And it shows. And he's reused the effects for this in God knows how many other movies. But this is a pretty well tight, put together film for a Roger Corman. Like, you wouldn't know it's a Roger Corman movie. You got actual movie stars in it. You got a great fucking score. I think it's James Horner's earlier scores. I mean, the special effects, you got guys like James Cameron working on it. So, I mean, a lot of pedigree went into this film.
I mean,
it looks on its surface like a big Star Wars ripoff, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of elements that are clearly Star Wars ripoffs, but it has its own voice. And of all the Star Wars ripoffs, it is, I can see why people like it as one of the more
it's one of the more
films.
yeah. Let's not forget Zack Snyder also was inspired by this. Thanks, Brian Barth.
No, he forgot this existed.
Exactly.
Because he said it's Magnificent Seven meets Seven Samurai meets Star Wars in space. Take that in for a second. Star Wars is already set in space, you dumb fuck.
I know. He's an idiot.
But, you know, it would have made billions in the theater.
Yeah, sure it would.
Gilmore takes your fucking lunch, bitch. Doyle rules.
Have you ever seen Star Crash by Corman? His company?
I have it.
That is like, people will argue, like the director will argue that his movie became before Star Wars. They ripped him off.
I've got it somewhere here. Actually, I thought it was right next to me here.
David Hasselhoff is in it and stuff, and they actually do have lightsabers and everything in it.
I got it.
It's not as good as Battle Beyond the Stars. But it's
I'll have to watch that for
freaking cheesy, crazy, over the top.
Well, as you know me, I love rip-off movies. I mean, if it hasn't become apparent. But yeah, no, it just happened to be on sale, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm getting it. Honestly, even though the old Blu-ray is from the Inner Positive, this is one I didn't notice a huge jump in quality. You know,
right. So it's I mean, it's Corman, so who knows how.
That's
well
what I'm saying. Even that $2 million was
out.
his biggest budget at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's done anything since then that has a bigger budget than $2 million, but I'm saying, like, with inflation, I guarantee you it's still his biggest budget ever.
Yeah, probably.
I'm pretty sure I have that somewhere down.
Yeah, Star Crash is fun. Star Crash is a lot of fun. It's not as good as Battle Beyond the Stars, but it's fun and it's insane.
Well, Battle Beyond the Stars is doing a really good job of trying not to be a Star Wars ripoff, but not hiding the fact that it's a remake of Seven Samurai / Magnificent Seven. And I don't even know if they paid for the rights or any of that shit, to be honest with you. I don't even know if it ever says that anywhere, but they don't deny it. Let me see here the credits.
I mean, Corman just did it. Who cares if he had the rights or not?
No point in here does it say it's inspired by or based upon or any of that shit. So they just got away with it, I guess. And John Saxon's decent. I mean, like, it's got a great cast. I mean, overall. Yeah. I mean, you can kind of see the major beats of it happening as it goes along. You're like, oh yeah, it's Seven Samurai, pretty much straight up, or seven, you know, more so Magnificent Seven. And that's where I said it's even kind of ironic, because I'm pretty sure, unless somebody correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, pretty fucking sure Robert Vaughn plays the same fucking character. Same character.
Probably does.
And I'm like, that is fucking brilliant. Because I love Robert Vaughn. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I unapologetically love Superman 3. Because also one of my favorite lines in that is like, I asked you to kill Superman.
Yeah.
I asked you to do one simple thing and you couldn't even do that.
He's actually pretty good as the Lex Luthor.
He would have made a great
movie.
Lex Luthor.
He would have.
Actually.
He really would have.
I mean, not if you had just been like, oh no, he's Lex Luthor now because fucking Gene Hackman's like, peace, I'm out.
Yeah.
He would have been a great replacement, honestly.
He would have been. He really would.
A little different, but it would have been a great replacement because he's kind of got that vibe going for him in the movie. He's fucking great in it, and he's just a great character actor who has like he can play that line right. Like that's what I love about him. He can play likable, lovable, hate, but you love to hate him. And in the Seven Samurai / Magnificent Seven / Beyond the Stars role, he's that character that walks the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he is kind of that anti-hero here, and it works so brilliantly for him. But he also has that panache about him that you like him still for whatever reason, even though you know he's a horrible person or whatever, depending on what character he's playing. So yeah,
he's got a nice. I mean, he's got that like, I don't know. He's got the like you were talking about, like the vibe where it's like, well, whether he's played a bad guy or not, this guy is going to be pretty awesome because I like this dude no matter what. So, like, even in Joe's apartment, when he opens up his shirt, he's got the lingerie on under.
Yeah. I mean, he does. He's great whatever he pops up in. I mean, and again, he was kind of a surprise for me because I didn't even realize he was in the movie because he's not even on the cover of the Steelbook. And he's barely visible on the other poster. Like I wouldn't be able to tell it's him.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like, I mean, I thought it was enjoyable and the effects are good. The makeup's good. They do a pretty interesting kind of thing with a lot of the different characters. You got the Valkyrie character too, played by, what is it, Sybil Danning or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I got her figure somewheres.
Yeah,
pretty
they
sure.
Does that because it still came with the figure, didn't it?
Yeah, I had that package that came with that. So yeah. So, but I just never actually fucking watched it. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I probably saw it at some point as a kid or in bits and pieces here and there because I know I've seen some of it before.
It was a cable staple, so of course,
exactly. And you got John Boy in it and all that shit.
Yeah,
so.
John Boy. Good night, John
what's
Boy.
her face from Newhart's in it too.
Oh yeah, I can't think.
I can't think of her name.
It's so bad with names anymore. The blonde, right, from Newhart.
Yeah, and I can't think of her name, but she plays one of the. And that's the other. Akira is the name of the people. I'm like, oh, is that supposed to be a play on Akira Kurosawa?
Yeah, like, it's more than likely.
Yeah.
I love good old Corman movies, man. I forgot. Yeah, she is great at basketball. She could suck the chrome off the thing. Yeah. Suck the chrome off.
Lay some carpet for me.
Yeah. Mary Fran, is that the name? I think that might be her.
Maybe. I can't think of it. That's got to be it, probably. Knowing Steven, he's probably right.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, recommend. I don't know if it's still on sale or not, but yeah.
I think there is. I think there's some of those are still on sale.
I think they might be out of it because it was kind of freezing. Julia Duffy, that's who it is. Yes.
Julia Duffy.
That's who it is. Yes. Because like it was freezing in my Sony player. It was my first movie in a while to be freezing in it, but I played it in my Xbox and I played fine. But I still wanted to try and get a replacement, but they didn't have any left, I think. So it might be sold out.
Dang.
And I don't know how limited it is because the weird thing is Shout technically owns all the Roger Corman movies.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So it's not like they should be limited, but as of right when I tried to get it replaced, I couldn't. So, which is strange. But yeah.
That is strange. That is strange.
Have I tried an audio Blu-ray disc? Yes, I actually have a few.
Yeah. That's nice. I actually don't think I have any audio Blu-ray disc.
They're basically like a CD, but they have a menu, and you can usually choose between different sets of sound, whether it's Dolby Atmos, 5.1.
I have to look into that. I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
even bought one of those ever. I
mean, I've got a bunch of them. Depends on what you're looking for.
I
Most
still
of them are
buy. I
classic.
still just buy the CDs. That was what I still buy.
Like Pink Floyd's got a bunch of them.
Nice.
Just recently, is it Rhino or who is it? One of those boutique CD labels is putting out a lot of the albums that were on quad stereo, which would be the 4-channel. So they put out a few of those. And I got a couple of those.
Nice.
But yeah, there's a handful or more out there. Because even like what is it, SACD, I believe, if I remember correctly, even that has the capability of doing 5.1. Because I have, I believe, Thriller and a couple other ones or something like that in that format or whatever it is.
Nice.
So, yeah. Anyway.
Nice. All right. Well, yes, Battle Beyond the Stars, good. Now you should definitely watch Star Crash if you're in the mood for another.
I am pretty sure I fucking got it. I gotta find it.
It is. It's fun, and the director is, I believe, Italian, and he himself claims that his movie
first, the fucking George Lucas.
We did it before We did it before George Lucas. I came up with the ideal before he did, even though the movie came out after Star Wars.
I came up with the Tripio. My Tripio is better than his.
He does have a robot, and it's so similar. He does. You never know. My guess is that like maybe he had these ideals or whatever, but Corbin clearly knew Star Wars was going to be a hit, so he waited till afterwards to put it out. So who knows? Who really knows? Honestly, who really knows? All right, I really have nowhere to go from that, so I'll just rip the Band-Aid and do this one quick, since I know you've not watched it and stuff, and it wasn't your cup of tea. So I got into Dawson's Creek, the series. This is from Mill Creek, by the way, the Blu-ray Mill Creek. It doesn't look bad. The actual Blu-ray looks really good, and I was really happy too because, like, you know, with Mill Creek, how they like to stack.
I hope you're not working too hard.
they don't. They're not stacked. They're actually in. I couldn't believe it.
You watched that whole thing in a week?
No, I didn't watch the whole thing. I was watching my favorite episodes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, man, you did you fucking sleep?
No, I didn't watch this 6 seasons. Yeah, there's no way I was gonna watch 6 seasons. I just after he died, and I
tried to watch WKRP for this show. I've been watching it over the last few fucking months. And I cram in a few episodes here and there, but damn, even that show's short in comparison. Like, it's only like 4 seasons. Long.
So no, I didn't. I did the 6 seasons. I was a fan. I don't care. So sue me. I was a fan back in the day. What can I? Hey,
you don't want to wait.
Don't act like you didn't watch 90210.
To be over. I know. I'm just picking on you. That song was in there, right?
Yes, that's their theme song.
I was gonna say, I remember those trailers all over the place.
All over the bed. It's like I was telling you backstage, like
Dawson's Creek.
It hooked me because Scream, which we all know.
We were talking about this now. I was trying to remember, when did that show start? Because wasn't that one of the things? Oh, 98. Okay, I was gonna say, because was that one of the things that got between him and Scream 3, maybe? But I couldn't remember.
I don't really remember what got into it, because I know the studio didn't want his ideal for Scream 3. And he kind of just here's my treatment. There you go. And he went off and he did something. I can't remember what he did, but he went off and did something. Maybe it was Vampire Diaries, because I know he made that show too. I don't know. I don't remember everything. But no, it sold me on what sold me on this show is when they were running commercials for it back in the day and everything. It was like, hey, you guys like Scream, right? Well, the guy that made Scream is making a show. And you're like, oh, what's this show about? And then the lead character is a big film nerd buff who wants to be a director. Hey, I want to be a director. And he's really into these movies and horror movies and this, and there's these hot chicks and everything. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. And yeah, it's a teen soap opera, and it falls into a lot of that stuff. But mostly as the series goes on, it falls more into it as it goes on. And plus, he did leave the show. Kevin Williamson did leave the show about, I don't know what season. As most creators do, most of them do. They'll start the show, get it going, and run it for a while, and then they move on. But no, it's basically like the first season isn't great. That's where I love the first season, and the first season is essentially Scream without a serial, without the ghost face. It is, because they're almost the same characters, really, truly. And in one of the episodes I watched was Friday the 13th. It's called Friday the 13th on the episode. It's one of my favorite episodes. It's from the first season. And what's funny about that speaking of which, I was watching, is Scott Foley is on the show, and he does the scream. He does the Ghostface thing. He calls the blonde, what's her name? What's her name? That's like the third time I forgot her name. She was married to, with what's his name? Oh my god, I'm like anyways, he calls the blonde and does the whole Ghostface thing to her in the episode because they're playing on the horror tropes and movies and stuff. And I'm like, that is hilarious considering he was in Scream 3 as, Ghostface and everything. Yes, Michelle Williams. My god, where is my mind at tonight? So I don't know where my mind is at. Yeah, but no, I had fun with it. I hadn't watched the series in a very long time. And I know that Mill Creek put out the Blu-ray a while back, and I've had it for a while. And I was like, the dialogue is what gets you too, because like it is so hilarious. I think it adds to the show as well. Is like the dialogue, like when they're talking to each other, they're supposed to be 15 years old, but they're talking like they're 30 to each other. The way they talk and the way everything is so serious to them. Nobody talked like that. Nobody. But it adds to the show. It's like the dialogue is like, I don't know. It just adds to the show in my mind. So and like I said, I know, Tom, you ain't talked much about it and everything or whatever because it wasn't your cup of tea and everything. But I really think so. My theory though is my thing is, spoilers here, Dawson should have ended up with Katie Holmes' character of Joey. That was where they clearly set it up in the beginning of the series to do it. But my theory is that what happened to the show, it changed the show a little bit from the love triangle they had set up, because the love triangle they had set up was Dawson and Katie Holmes and Michelle Williams' character. But then it became James Van Der Beek's Dawson's character, Katie Holmes' character, and Joshua Jackson's character of Pacey became the love triangle. And I think the reason it shifted to that is because Katie Holmes and Joshua Jackson were dating in real life on the show for I don't know how many seasons, and they clearly weren't hiding their attraction to each other in their acting at all. And I guess they picked the people and the audience picked up on that, so became that became the love triangle. And so what can you do? And then he ended up with the girl at the end of the series, and because that's how it did, because they said Dawson's first love was always cinema, so he was always going to be a director, which he becomes a director at the end. So anyway, spoiler alert. That's it. That's my little 90s teen soap opera talk for the while now. It's a great set. If you like the show, pick it up. The Blu-ray's good. Blu-ray set's good. The scans look great. It doesn't look bad at all. Lots of special features. And if they also have this on DVD, the set on DVD, if you're still in the DVD. So yeah, what can I say? Anyways, yeah.
It's the Dawson.
It's the Dawson. It's the pie fucker. No, Wes Craven didn't make. Kevin Williamson made Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
So I think people forget that. Is I hear people talk about that too. And don't get me wrong, Wes Craven is extremely
because when they hear the creator scream, they
hear Wes
Craven. They don't think of Kevin Williamson. So
and that's one of the things that's sort of pissing me off about the new. And here we go with Scream again. Is about Scream 7 is Wes Craven would have never have done this with all the dumb fuckers who are trying to boycott the movie or whatever, thinking that Wes Craven never. When Wes Craven created, it's you do realize the guy that's directing and wrote this is the writer for Scream 1, 2, and 4. And Wes Craven supported this writer, and he took his words, and maybe he changed stuff when he directed and everything, and he, rewrites and all that. But this guy is the creator of Scream along with Wes Craven. I don't think Wes Craven would be pissed at
I'm willing to bet most of the resistance came from the Weinsteins.
Oh, yeah. The Weinsteins actually kicked him off of the third.
I was going to say, I doubt it had anything to do with Craven. More or less.
And Craven fought for him, and Craven actually fought for him on the fourth movie. By the way, the fourth movie too was not completely Kevin Williams's. They kicked him off of that too, and Aaron Kruger, who wrote Scream 3, came in and wrote the final act of Scream 4. They changed the final act altogether. and he came in and wrote that. So they kicked Kevin Williamson off that movie as well. So and this like I've been saying, this is the movie he's always wanted. And I'm sitting here wondering where I'm getting an echo, and I just realized I'm getting an echo from this because it's metal. And I'm like hearing my voice reverberate.
What's your scary movie, Greg?
What's your favorite scary movie? You would think it's Scream as much as we talk about it, which is one of my favorite movies, but it's not my favorite scary movie. But anyways, I mean, if you guys like Dawson's Creek, I enjoyed it. You know, with the passing of James Vanderbeek, I enjoy. You know, I was always liked his acting and everything, and I always connected with that character as a kid who wanted to be a director, who was into movies and wanted to make his own movie, and always wanted to have a hot chick. So still looking, by the way, but yeah. So, anyways, that's all I got for you guys on that one. I got more to go after that. One more to go, but yeah. It is funny though to see who ended up becoming famous out of that whole cast and who kind of petered out over the years. But anyways, what do we got? You want to go? Thank you, Randall Brad. Thank you.
Well,
I was going to go one place, but I'm going to go another.
Okay.
So I want to save the other one for last. But if you guys remember a few weeks back, I brought on Phantom of the Paradise. So I figured it's a good time for me to sit down and kind of get acquainted with some of the other versions of Phantom of the Opera. And I got a few more to go that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with the Lon Chaney classic Phantom of the Opera. A Kino release that has a couple different versions on it, but it does not have the complete audio version of it, which is this movie was famously released with sound at one point, where they dubbed all the voices except for Lon Chaney when unless he was off screen, then they did have a voice for him.
Yeah,
which is weird. But there's only like 50 minutes of it existing, and it doesn't even have some of the footage. So my guess is that that version no longer exists.
Probably not.
But it does have the version that has like some of the color inserts in it, because I believe this movie was re-released a few times. And of course, when people think of Phantom of the Opera, this is the face that you think of, the Lon Chaney.
Yeah, with the mask
face,
coming off and the
with that
nose.
mask. Yeah. The way it is. Now, the mask is a little different than people usually remember. That's the thing. But like, yeah, it's brilliant in the way it's kind of put together for the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that part is the part that stands out the most. But otherwise, it's not nearly as watchable as like Nosferatu as far as like, you know, silent films go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, no, very good though. Otherwise, like the clear, you know, part being Lon Chaney being the standout there. And of course, a few years later, Universal redid it in Technicolor. Here's the one from the box set, and of course, here's the 4K set. And what's strange, or I guess not strange, but kind of cool for this set is I'm not so sure it's a new scan per se, but they did do a new 5.1 surround sound mix, and I think it's the only one that does have that, which makes sense considering the musical aspect. But therein lies the problem. That makes this movie boring as shit. Because a lot of nothing happens while they sing for like fucking endless minutes throughout the film. It's like, okay, come on, guys. It's not even good music per se, like a musical like the Andrew Lloyd Webber type situation, right? It's just like people literally just standing there and practicing their opera songs or listening to the opera, and it's like, really, we're wasting a lot of time. And the story, if you take all that shit out, maybe half hour, right? Like, but this one has probably the most straightforward as far as like the basic story, from my understanding of the book, although I'm not very familiar with it.
Yeah.
But I did watch yet another version of it.
Another Phantom.
And it's the one that's forgotten the most. In fact, I look up a couple of lists that even had like Phantom of the Paradise and stuff on them. And even the weird fucking sequel that Andrew Lloyd Webber did. But they never have this gem, Phantom of the Mall,
I
Eric's
have that.
Revenge.
I have that.
They never bring it up. And as you
Nope.
know, it's a pretty straightforward
Mm-hmm.
telling of the Phantom of the Opera. It's just set in a mall.
Yeah.
That's
And
the only
the
fucking
80s.
difference. And it's the 80s, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
even Pauly Shore's in it in one of his earliest performances.
Yep.
And it's the most straight you'll ever see Pauly Shore until he's in Pauly Shore's Dead. I swear. Because like he's good in it. You can actually see like, okay, this kid can act a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The movie's not bad really, but it kind of got taken away from the creators. First the writers, I guess, and then the filmmakers themselves. And kind of got reworked. So there's 3 different versions of this movie on here.
Yeah.
So there's the original.
Which of that set? Do you just have the Blu-ray?
What's that?
You just have, is that the big chunky box set of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say that's one I have.
Okay. What other version is there?
No, I was just wondering. I didn't know if there was the standard one or the one with. The
I think there's
poster
just a
and all
standard
that.
one, but like, I think it's just but it's all the same content other than the poster in the book. Yeah. But yeah, so you got 3 different versions of the movie. What are the 3 different versions? You got the theatrical cut, the TV cut, and the fan edit, which is basically a combination of the TV cut and the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
Reworked a little bit. Now I remember seeing this movie. I'm trying to replace it because I know I saw it, or at least sought it out after Pauly Shore became big.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those movies like, okay, now I got to see this because it's one of the only Pauly Shore movies I've never seen. And I don't think I ever found it on video. I think I actually got to find it on Cinemax, if I remember right. And again, it's just kind of a basic slasher-esque kind of retelling of the Phantom of the Opera in the modern day, set in a mall.
Mm-hmm.
A few things tweaked. It was shot and made pretty straightforward, but whatever the studio did with it afterwards to try and kind of tweak it up and make it a little bit more goofier does show through, but it doesn't ruin the movie overall, I would say.
No, but you kind of feel like the hero of the movie kind of like is the Phantom by the end of that. Of the
kind of, because this one has like one of the that's you're not wrong, and I'm glad you brought that up, Greg, because of all the versions of the Phantom that I've watched so far, sans Phantom of the Paradise, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most sympathetic Phantom.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of left going like, well, he deserves his revenge.
Yeah. It's like
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like the girl and everything, like he's still in love with the girl. He's not like really doing really bad things. And then like at the end of the movie, all of a sudden that's it. It's like her and the other guy turn on him and that's that, it's over. He's the bad guy now. And it's like, what? Because
a lot of the stuff he's doing aside from the killings, and even the guys that he's killing are not really guys that shouldn't deserve it.
Exactly.
But yeah, you're not wrong, because even compared to the Claude Rains version, right? Like in that one, it's a misunderstanding that gets everything going. And I believe in most versions, that's kind of the way it goes, is there's like, it's kind of he is done wrong, but it's more of in his eyes, he's done wrong than he was actually like done wrong per se. If that makes sense. So that's kind of always the catch of the Phantom, and in the end, him becoming the monster is not so much his deformity, but it's what he does with his idea of basically capturing and keeping this woman hostage and all that kind of business. Because, I mean, that's really kind of what it boils down to. It's a very Beauty and the Beast-esque kind of story at the end, but yeah, so, I mean, the Phantom of the Mall is one that's kind of overlooked a lot of the times, and I feel it's kind of shitty that it is. Because it's not a parody or a satire so much as it is just a reimagining of the Phantom of the Opera, and I just feel like it doesn't get. It's just the only other complaint I have about this is how the fuck did you not get Pauly Shore to talk about something?
Exactly.
He can't be that hard to get,
right?
I could probably get Pauly Shore if I tried hard enough.
Yeah. He was
Unless
just
he's
on
just
Jamie
like,
Kennedy.
I'm not talking about Phantom of the Mall, buddy.
Chubby cheekies. Puffy cheeks. Puffy cheeks.
Puffy cheeks.
Yeah, puffy cheeks. No, I agree with you. I enjoy this. This is one that's left out. And I remember when Arrow announced this, I pre-ordered that right away and got the big box set with the poster and everything in it. It is one of those often overlooked 80s movies, and it's like you said, it's contemporary to the Phantom of the Opera because it's like the 80s generation version. Like it's in the mall, they're the kid, the kids in the mall and all that like that. So I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. It works for what it is.
I thought so.
Yeah. Morgan Fairchild's in it.
Yeah, Morgan Fairchild's in it.
And she's was she running for like the mayor or something?
She is the mayor.
Yeah, she is the mayor. Yeah, that's right.
And then the kid that is the mayor's kid is John Travolta's nephew.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I've seen him in a few things, but like, yeah. I didn't know he was John Travolta's nephew until I watched like the making of this. But, no, I mean it's a little tongue in cheek. Don't get me wrong, but it is still pretty faithful-esque to the basic overall, even to the point where it uses like the ducts, the ventilation ducts in the mall, and Eric's got this like little, dungeon and like it's all there, right? Like all the major beats and most of the elements are there. But you're not wrong that of all the versions besides maybe Phantom of the Paradise, that it paints him in more of the sympathetic role.
It's like you end up liking him more than you like the guy that the girl gets up with in the movie because he's like, what the fuck? He was just doing that for her. And, he needed his revenge. And all of a sudden now she's with this dude and that stuff. It's like, come on, man. But it is like, it is the Phantom story, I guess, in general, sort of.
Pretty basically, yeah. I mean, it's not like it's even a like I said, it's not even so much a satire like you would think, but like,
no.
Because none of it's really played for laughs, per se.
Nope,
so,
nope. I mean, of course, people seeing it now knowing it's the 80s and they'll be, oh, look at this and everything. But at the time, it wasn't.
Even Pauly Shore is playing it down for the most part.
And he's in 18 again, too. Speaking of which, I was just thinking about that with George Burns and him. But anyways, yeah, it's good. How many? There's like so many. Like Brian Bart, there is so many versions of Phantom of the Opera and different versions of like they did it. They even did it on Night Court with Dan, the Phantom of the Courthouse. So like it's been done to death on everything.
I got at least a couple more coming.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorites. I'm sure you have it too, and I don't know if you've got to it or when you went is Robert Englund's Phantom of the Opera.
Maybe
that's one of my favorites. Now that's more like when you watch that, which I'm sure you have, is like the director, which was just recently died. You haven't seen it
yet.
You have not seen the movie.
That was one that for some reason I just couldn't get my hands on as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have it now. I just have not even cracked it open yet. I'm about to this next week, so preview.
Well, then I better not say anything.
I know a lot about it though.
Say the director of this is like, there's like musical. There's like a little bit of musical to it with the actress.
No, but I've heard it's batshit crazy.
Oh, it's fun. It's a great movie. He went through it as like he took more of the darker aspects of the book. Him and Robert Englund took more of the darker aspects of the Phantom of the Opera books and mixed it a little bit with like Jack the Ripper. So
I was going to say the non-modern day scenes are actually, according to one of the things I read, one of the more closer adaptations of the actual novel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is.
But we'll get into that next week. I've never actually read it, so I don't know.
No, me neither. But I was just like, I'm going through what I've seen and all that. So yeah, it's great. It's great. I love that. It's a fun movie. It's an often overlooked one. I do.
It's also the one oddball that's considered it's weird that it's considered one of the Universal horror films.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say that is because I understand why. Totally understand why.
Yeah.
But it's the only one that does not have any sequels. It's just its own thing.
Yeah,
if anything, it's almost a little too prestigious to be one of their horror film. You know what I mean? Like, even the way it's shot and looks, this definitely looks the best of all the Universal horror films. Because it's shot in technical. You can tell they spent some money on it. I have no idea how much.
Yeah.
But,
to be honest with you, whenever time I've bought the Universal Monsters over the years, I've always wondered, well, I know, like you said, I know why it's in there, but I've always wondered why it's been included in there because to me, it never fit.
feels like an outsider, definitely.
It does. Like even though the creature from the Black Lagoon came way later than like the Wolfman and
That
all
one makes
them,
more sense.
It makes
Exactly,
sense. It makes sense. But like the Phantom of the Opera, yes, I truly do think
I honestly wonder if it just didn't kind of get associated with it because of Claude Rains and then like the whole thing with the Invisible Man and and whatever. So I don't know.
Probably. The 1990 version of Phantom with Charles Dance and Burt Lancaster.
That's not one I have, but I do
don't think
kind of
I've ever actually seen that
vaguely-ish
one.
remember. I do remember when the Andrew Lloyd Webber one got the.
Yeah, with the newer version of it with what's his name in it,
Yeah.
Gerard Butler. That's the one you're talking about. I've heard bad things about that one.
Yeah, from my memory, it didn't turn out quite the way it should have.
But there's also a set of people that really like that one too. So
Yeah.
go figure.
Well, it's kind of like in that Wicked category with women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of women tend to like it, but a lot of like people who actually know it don't like it.
I think it's maybe Wicked beat it, but I think for the longest time it was the highest grossing Broadway musical. Because it ran for fucking ever. Because I mean, if you had WGN, you've seen the advertisement for that all the time next to Cats and shit. It's a movie.
It's a movie. The new one. It's a movie.
Clark, you were supposed to be on the show, ain't you?
Yep. We need to get it back on here.
Yeah. I mean, it's been satirized in so many different ways and so many other things. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I could probably do a lot more deep diving into, movies that are inspired clearly by. But I just found it kind of odd that all the lists that I'm reading, it's like, yeah, all the obvious ones are on there, but they'll throw Phantom of the Paradise on there, which is kind of clearly more, but it is leaning more satire than fucking the Phantom of the Mall is in some respects. Like Phantom of the Mall only feels like it's more satire just because of the way it was presented and re-edited, I believe. And I'm pretty sure I never rented it because the flip side, as you know, is the VHS cover or whatever in the poster. That thing is ugly as fuck. Like, and I know I've never seen that before, so I'm like, yeah, there's no way. Because I'm pretty sure I either saw this on like Cinemax, maybe it was on USA or something like that.
Probably, maybe it was on Even Up All Night.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Something like that, maybe right next to Chopping Mall. For some reason, those two movies are very associated with me. In fact, I think I even got them crisscrossed in my head at some point. Where I think I saw them on the same night. Like maybe it was like where What's-Her-Face Rhonda was doing like
Rhonda or Gilbert, maybe.
Gilbert were doing like a mall horror film kind of like.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. Yeah, probably. We'll get you back. We'll get you back on the show next week, maybe.
I do have Chopping Mall, but yeah, there's no relation there to the Phantom.
No, other than the mall. I love Chopping Mall. Chopping Mall's great.
Yeah.
Another Jim Wynorski classic.
Yeah, and they shoot this actually in one of the biggest at the time prestigious malls in LA, if I remember right, because they talk a little bit about on the making of it. But yeah, no, I mean Pauly Shore is a perfect mall rat, right? Like, I mean. It's funny is that he's so tame in comparison to what we're used to from him.
I know when you see him in it, you're like,
yeah,
that's Pauly Shore. What? Why he's not
so
saying
normal,
buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He is actually very, very normal in that movie. You're not wrong. You like you said, he could act.
He's still the comic relief.
Yeah.
In the film, but it's the comic relief in that he's the. Like even one of the deleted scenes from the TV version that's added back into the fan edit, like they're watching the guy who ends up becoming the Phantom. He's doing his routine or whatever for gymnastics or whatever it is, and he even makes the crack about he's really good. It's real bad about his looks though. It's kind of a precursor to what's going to happen, but it is kind of again. It's like okay, so that's the kind of jokes it is, not the I'm wheezing the ooze type. Pauly Shore stuff.
Yeah.
But he clearly had some influence there because he's wearing a shirt for their school mascot, which is the Weasels. It was just funny because they talk about how they got him in the movie. Was they needed the role, and he kind of fills the I can't remember not is Raul the no I'm just getting him crisscrossed which one's the fucking singer and which one's the detective? He's playing the singer guy basically.
Oh yeah.
But because the journalist is the detective role. But yeah, so like he's filling that role, but they saw him at the Comedy Store. And like, we got to put him in the movie. And I don't remember if they initially wanted him to play that role or if it just happened to work out that way. But, you know, he fits in it pretty well, although he's not. Although those roles are supposed to be like, those two guys are supposed to be so similar is kind of the whole joke of the role, or however you want to put it.
Yeah.
At least in the Universal version. And I'm thinking it was kind of like that in the the Lon Chaney version is really hard to watch and follow until you get to the main kind of beef of it. Because it's just a lot of weird set pieces and talk. Like, the talking isn't as. I wish they had I really do. I wish they had the full audio version. It'd be a lot easier to follow.
It would be.
It is a lot of show don't tell in this kind of. There's not a lot. It's kind of a weird silent film to be about opera and all that kind of shit. It is kind of like, and again, I'm not like normally like what the fuck ever, but it doesn't even seem to have a set score to it either, which is kind of weird because it has like 2 or 3 different scores for this on the Lon Chaney version. So who knows? I don't know so much about it. Although there is a great documentary on the Universal version where it goes through a bunch of the different versions. So.
Yeah.
Even the Hammer horror ones.
The Hammer. And what's funny is like that Lon Chaney one is one that's like even on the Munsters. That's the one they use for the Munsters. And all those, so like that's the one they don't even use the Universal Monster one. They use the Lon Chaney.
Right, and that's the other thing too, which is funny, is whenever you see the Phantom, it's never that version. It's never the Claude Rains one. It's always the fucking Lon Chaney one, which is weird.
Even like the makeup on the guy in Phantom Mall is sort of similar to his makeup a little.
Kind of, it's more of a Freddy look, but kind of.
Yeah, but he's sort of got the nose and everything.
Yeah, it's sort of ish. But
Yeah.
they clearly went, like, the makeup guy is on the Blu-ray and he talks about how he took that directly from a photo of a guy who had, like, his face all burnt and shit.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. It's true. It's true. All right.
And it is one of the more grotesque ones. Sans, I haven't seen the Robert Englund. Like, the Robert Englund one, though, kind of a precursor to what going into it, though, I guess. Because this is what I know about it. Like, I know it's got this weird time travel element to it. It's not actual time travel, but it's she gets knocked out during the modern day audition, and then she goes back in time. For some reason, maybe I have seen most of this movie or some of this movie at some point, because I do remember aspects of it. But I also think I watched a video of somebody's review at some point about it or something. Because then I also know that, like, behind the scenes thing, and I know they also talked a little bit about it on the Robert Englund documentary. So I'm probably getting things crisscrossed, because I know Robert was talking about how he was so, like, enamored with being able to do this part, and it was supposed to be this broad role compared to what he's used to. But then the fucking studio decided they tried to make it like Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger is the Phantom of the Opera, and like the poster art is not even the makeup he has in the movie and shit.
Nope.
It's like literally, I think, a picture of him as Freddy that they superimposed or something shit like that. I think he says, you remember, you've seen the documentary, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I said, yeah, it is something that he was actually really proud about, and that he was planning on wanting to do a sequel to it.
And then I think they recut it as more of a slasher or something like that on it too. Didn't he say something like that? But like,
yeah. They did make it a little more violent and everything, but like he does it is when you watch the movie, it is a very different performance, and I think that's one of the reasons why it did do so well. Like you mentioned, is like they did try to sell it like it was a Freddy movie, and it's not at all. Is there some gore and stuff in it, and does he have stuff on his face? Yes, but it's not Freddy Krueger level, and the character he plays is nothing like Freddy Krueger. He's actually very like leading man-esque in this, other than the horror aspects that he does in the movie. So, but he doesn't come across in this as sympathetic as Erica the Mall.
Well, I'm curious to see it, because I did, like I said, as I was going through the lists and stuff, I saw that it was one of the top ones as far as the adaptation aspect. The one that always got the best one, I think, was like some BBC adaptation. Somebody probably mentioned in the chat. I don't have. But one of the ones I'm watching is also one of the ones that's listed as one of the worst. So I'll be curious. I don't remember. Do I have the Hammer one? I can't remember. I'll have to look.
If you're going to bring on that one next week, I might just watch the Freddy one myself too this week.
I'm going to do the Freddy one this next week for sure. Yeah, I didn't get to it this week. That's the only reason. I was going to watch it tonight, but I ended up rewatching the Claude Rains one, because I was like, I fell out of it. So like I remember the ending, but I'm like I don't remember anything leading up to the ending all so much because it got so many musical parts that I literally like just completely phased out. It would like start playing on my phone or whatever, and if that happens, then that's not a good sign.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. So I'll probably watch the Freddy one this week too because I really enjoyed the movie.
I might actually have this. I don't know. For some reason, I recognize the cover. It's a Shout Factory.
The Shout Factory one, Robert England. Yeah.
No. The other one, the Hammer one.
Oh, the Hammer one.
Because that's the one I wasn't sure if I had or not. Let me look here. While I'm doing that, you can start on your next one.
Okay. Speaking of masked men and whatever, if you haven't really noticed about the movies I brought on tonight and the shows, it was Valentine's weekend this past weekend, so I was kind of stewing in my own loneliness, watching these movies and shows. But I watched Valentine. Speaking of masked men, with from the early 2000s, with David Boreanaz, Denise Richards. Yes.
That was kind of weird.
I like it.
I vaguely remember it. I don't know if I have it or not though.
Yeah. So with them, it's very, speaking once again, Scream. It's very Scream-esque. Very, very.
So it's got
Scream.
Rockford in it.
Yes, Rockford. But he did get
Rockford. Yeah.
He did get the seal approval from James Gardner's daughter.
James Gardner. That's his fucking name.
He couldn't remember. James.
God damn it! That goes to a conversation 3 fucking days ago. I'm sitting here trying to remember James Garner's goddamn names. I'm like, it's James something. It's James Garfield. No, it's not James Garfield. James Garfield's the guy from The Exorcist. Who the fuck is it? It's James something, not Coburn. That's the other guy. I was having a conversation with somebody. I'm like, and they're like, I don't remember the Rockford Files. I'm like, fuck.
James Gardner, I remember the name tonight. Yes.
God, thank you. That itch to scratch or scratched an itch that I've had all fucking week.
Oscar winner, nuclear physicist.
I forgot to look it up.
There you go. That's the one problem with this movie is like this movie, it is rated R and it's got some of the hottest freaking women in the movie. It's even got Denise Richards in it. And she doesn't get topless.
Because it comes from the Scream era.
Exactly. That's the one, like, that's one thing, like, okay, I love you, Scream, but you fucked that shit up for me. I liked seeing the titties in this movie. I love that. And you got Denise Richards and like 5 hot chicks in this movie, and not one of them shows her tits.
Oh, man.
But for this plot of this movie is very much like a love letter to like 80s slasher movies with the Scream twist to it. So like the plot of the movie is there was this kid named Jeremy Milton in 6th grade and these 5 girls, and he was a nerd with glasses and everything, and he asked each one, and it's a Valentine's dance, and he was going around asking each one of them if they'd dance with him, and they would all tell him no and he's ugly and everything. One girl tells him that maybe later, and then he gets to the fat girl and she said yes, and he ends up dance with her, making out with her, and then she lies and said he tried to assault her because she gets caught by a bunch of boys kissing him, and they kick the shit out of him, and he disappears. And then it flash forward to them grown-ups, and somebody's killing these girls one at a time all of a sudden, and a Cupid type mask and everything, and signing the speaking of like My Bloody Valentine, he leaves them like Valentines similar to those, what he's going to do to them, signed JM, and so they assume it's him. And that's it. So David Boreanaz plays the boyfriend of one of the final girl of hers. And so like the whole movie is like they're presenting you with these guys. Is this Jeremy Milton? Is this the kid from the dance? Is he the one doing it? Who is it? You know, and so that's where it gets that. So and it got decent kills. Not all of them are greatest, but it's it's one of those movies from that time. And I always enjoyed it. It's a bit different because outside of some of the stuff that Scream did to these movies, like we talked about, it has a nice little ending to it that you don't quite expect. And once you watch it and you get it and you understand what is happening and everything, so like it's a bit unexpected. Can't say it's a bit unexpected because if you're really good watching it, you'll figure it out right away, especially if you've watched a lot of horror movies. But it's got an ending that's it's I like the ending. I like the ending of the movie. So it's not quite like a super happy ending of the movie.
I haven't seen it since it came out. I don't remember hating it. I just
Yeah.
don't remember liking it to the point where I'm like, oh, it's fucking amazing. But
No, it's not amazing. It's not an amazing, nowhere near an amazing movie. No, but it's a fun little slasher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a fun little slasher. No, it's not like going to be a solid 5 out of 5, maybe a good 2.5, 3-star film. Same director of Urban Legend. Same director.
I used to have it on DVD, but I think I got rid of it. So it
Right.
don't look like I got it on Blu-ray.
It was on sale recently in their sale. Speaking of which, sale.
Blame Scream.
Blame Scream. Yeah, I mean, like you got if it says all their names of the girls on here: Denise Richards, Marley Shelton, Katherine Heigl. I'm trying to find all the names of these girls. Katherine Heigl's the first kill in the movie. That's not she's the Scream. She's the girl in the beginning of the movie that they kill right off in the very, very beginning. But I'm sure I don't remember all the girls' names. That's like I guess those are the biggest ones. But like they're all really, really good looking women, and not one of them, especially not even decent. I mean, you get Denise Richards in a bikini and he kills her in a hot tub, which is pretty fun kill. But still, come on, man, come on. No, but it's a fun movie. It's a fun little slasher. I think if you're a slasher fan, you'll dig it. You'll dig it. It's not bad. No boobs, no watch. But if you're looking for a Valentine's Day slasher with boobs, which I didn't get a chance to watch and I was going to watch, it's called X-Ray, aka Hospital Massacre, starring Barbie Benton. You guys do you know who Barbie Benton is, right, Tom?
Not offhand, but if you show me a picture, I might.
She's a former Playmate model. She's from what's that fucking show? My God, I'm old or tired or something. Hee Haw. She was on Hee Haw. She was on Hee Haw, and she was.
Maybe I know her.
I'd bring up a picture of her, but I don't know. But she shows her titties in that movie, and it's a canon movie. It's an early canon movie before they were full on canon. It's a slasher, and and people don't know it's also a Valentine's Day slasher. And I meant to watch it. I brought it on before. I meant to watch it, but I ran out of time. I got into the Dawson, so that was my fault. That was my fault. So yeah, let's see. I bring up Barbie Benton here for you guys.
Actually, it sounds familiar now that you keep saying it.
The movie.
No, her name.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a good picture over here that I can actually bring up. Here. Why does it always bring up Instagram? I don't want to bring up Instagram. I just want to bring up. Here we go. See if I get this picture up here for you guys. Yeah, I meant to watch this, and I did. I'm sorry I did not get it watched, but here you guys go. This is Barbie Benton.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got nice ones, and she got puffy.
Speaking of nice ones, are you done with Valentine?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done with Valentine.
Speaking of nice ones, and there was a day before Valentine's Day.
Yes, which I also
that
watched,
at first I thought you were headed towards. I'm like, oh, did we watch the same thing? But I guess we didn't.
I probably did. I just didn't bring them.
I finally got around to watching the Arrow release of the 4K of the Friday the 13th remake.
Your favorite, right?
I hate this fucking movie. I hate this movie with a fucking passion. Which is funny because I'm more of a Freddy guy.
Mm-hmm.
But Jason fans accept this movie, and I'm like, you guys are fucking insane. Because this movie was everything I said it was going to be, only worse when it came out. And I'm not going to retell all that because I think I've told that story before. But okay, let's talk about the gritty nitty. Does this look better than this old Blu-ray? Yes. It's pretty much comparable to most 2K interpositive films that have been allowed to breathe after really, and not only this was compressed as fuck on this because you have both versions on one disc.
Mm-hmm.
This has them separated, so whichever one you prefer. In fact, I prefer the theatrical because it's shorter. All right. So I hate this fucking movie. Why do people like this movie? Other than it's got great tits.
The one blonde has a
couple of great tits in the movie. I mean, actually, I'm not gonna lie about that. It's got some great tits in the movie.
But it does not make for a good movie.
But and it's got some fun elements, like the kid from Transformers plays the same character he is in Transformers. So basically, Jason and Transformers are in the same universe, which is weird. Fucking hate this movie. I hate almost every goddamn thing about it. Right? Like, because it's every fucking thing I said it was going to be. Worse, and it gets worse right about, what is it, like 40 minutes in, depending on which version you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
Jason does not take fucking prisoners. Where the fuck does this come from? Not only this, I'm going to say this right up front. This is the worst Jason ever. He looks like a fucking wrestler. Okay? It's just wrong. It just doesn't look right. The guy is a fine actor, I'm sure, but he's just too goddamn big to be Jason. Jason's not meant to be this. Yes, he's supposed to be kind of a lumbering whatever, but he's not a towering fucking monster.
Yeah.
He's just kind of a guy running around in a hockey mask. It's like...
He is supposed to be a bit like more muscular than Michael Myers.
Little bit.
So,
like I like the Kane Hodder version like most people, but I kind of lean a little bit more towards the little bit slightly leaner, more basic Jason in the end. But that's just my preference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, this is going completely fucking everything on steroids. Like, seriously, like, feels like even fucking Jason's been jacked up on fucking steroids. Everything in this movie is everything on steroids.
Yeah.
And then you got the guy who made the remake of fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's like he forgot what the fuck he was making. Because they cram all kinds of shit from the first 4 fucking films into the first 20 minutes of this movie. And it has more fucking beginnings than any goddamn movie I've ever seen in my fucking life. And not only that, I think it has one of the longest sequences before the fucking titles.
Yeah.
Forever for a movie. Like, I think it's up there. I think there's only like 1 or 2 movies that has a longer sequence, maybe. Anyway, point being, like, this fucking movie is a piece of shit. If you like it, fine, but it goes against everything that made Friday the 13th what Friday the 13th was and Jason was. Like, at no point do I feel like I'm at Camp Crystal Lake, because it's in somebody's fucking fancy ass mansion cabin.
Yep.
Right? So it's more like it takes place at a mansion than it does in a... But yeah, eventually we get to the woods. But then when we get to the woods, we get to a fucking lair that looks like it's straight out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It's like they took the same set, just redressed it.
Yeah. The underground lair of Jason that he had.
It's like, what the fuck is this? Jason has a little cabin, and that's it. And you don't keep prisoners. You know what he keeps in that cabin? A teddy bear and his mother's fucking head. That's what he keeps there. That's it. Nothing else. That's his little home, his little place that he sits and he waits for Friday the 13th.
Until that date. Because
he's got a calendar, evidently, and there's somewhere he goes by moon phases. I don't know. And honestly, that doesn't even really line up, because if you go by the movies, we've talked about this before. Fucking Friday the 13th part 2 through what, 4 all take place in like the same fucking weekend.
Yeah, that's
so like by the 3rd or 4th film in that sequence, you're already on like what, Sunday? Fucking like or the next week already? Like, what the fuck is going on here? There's 2 Friday the 13th in a row? Shit. How does that happen? Oh, if you're in a year like this, it happens in a month, not a week. Right? Like,
right. Yeah, there's 3 this year. There's one coming up.
Yeah, this is the rarities. And we don't have a fucking Friday the 13th movie coming out this year.
No, go figure, right?
But we have a series coming out. But we'll talk about that maybe at some point. But yeah, no, Greg, we've talked about this a few times. Like, I don't even...
Excuse me. Maybe he's a
You're
minimalist,
fine.
Tom. You don't know.
I mean, there's a few new things on here. I'm just glad I think I got this on the sale because I would never have bought this otherwise. I had no real reason to. Because I think this is a third copy I have. I didn't even bring it out. But, you know, of course, you got the one in the box set that is,
Yeah, the
I think,
box set.
literally the same disc, isn't
Yep.
it?
Yeah, because they just bought a stack of them from
Yeah.
Warner Brothers and put them in there. So it's
Just
all
like the Freddy
executive.
versus Jason, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the kids, the Freddy versus Jason, that one. And wasn't there the third one? No, it's just them two, right? Yeah, it's just them
Yeah,
two.
because I remember people bitching about this one because this one needed a new scan because, yeah, like I said, there's a huge improvement, but it makes me wonder so much more if it isn't just because of how compressed it is on here. This is a pretty early Blu-ray from when it came out. This was a fairly early Blu-ray. So to have both versions compressed onto one disc is pretty, like, this is so old that it has literally the digital version on a DVD with a code.
That's
like,
crazy.
Like I have to put it in a computer
Yeah.
and all that kind of shit.
Sometimes those still work if you put them in and get that code.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, not a lot lately though.
But yeah, so like overall, is it worth the upgrade? I guess if you're a fan or you think it's worth having for a completionist kind of thing. I mean, is there some elements about it that I don't dislike? Yeah, sure there is. But overall, it's just, it does not save itself. It has so many issues leading into that second and third act that it just kind of takes away from who Jason really is and kind of who where did they get this idea of him constantly taking like this prisoner thing and just no. You could trick him for like 5 maybe so minutes tops, right? But sooner or later he figures out that's not his mama.
Yeah.
And that's the most you can do. He does not take fucking prisoners.
No, he doesn't.
Why would he?
Weed too. So
what?
I think it was his weed as well that he was growing. He was growing
that.
weed.
I don't know about. Like, I think that was just because those guys got onto his territory. Because that's the other thing is like, the town acts like they've known about Jason for years. So it's like, is this a fucking sequel or is this a fucking remake or what? Because basically, you get the beginning of the movie is the end of the original film, and it's like almost verbatim. Right, so you're like, okay, is are they just reenacting it, or is this supposed to be kind of a new take on it? What is going on here? And then you find out, oh no, that shit happened in 1980 or whatever it was. So it's like, okay, so is it a sequel? And that's where some people kind of take it as a sequel. In that case, I hate it because even more because it's like so against characters. Like as a remake, fine, whatever, it is what it is. We never got a goddamn sequel, thank God. Even though this movie made money and it shouldn't have. But it led to the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, which was another like what the fuckery about.
Or worse than this one, though.
In ways, yes, but at the same time, it feels like a wasted opportunity, and I think we've talked about that a little bit before too. Because at the one point you're going like, okay, you are actually trying something different than what they're doing here. Because like all they're doing here is carbon copying other shit. To make Freddy innocent is a completely different twist.
Yeah.
But they don't follow through with it, and it goes nowhere, and then the movie goes completely off the rails. But not like it was good to start with, but it had some potential going for it, and then it just completely botched it.
Yeah.
And it actually had an actor that could have actually taken on the role for a while had they not fucked it up. But they gave him a really shitty makeup job.
Yeah. Sadly.
And they gave him lines from the first 4 or 5 movies, and you're like... what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Might as well just had Robert Englund back.
Yep.
But anyhow, as far as this goes, yeah, I can't recommend it, unfortunately. It's one of my least of the films of the Friday the 13th franchise. It is a fucking piece of shit. And it's part of the reason we haven't got a movie in so long from him, too, if you think about it. It's weird, but like... This movie is part of the reason why I think that the studios got it in their head that they think these movies are so expensive.
Right.
Because that was part of the excuse, at least, that they gave us, right? Was horror wasn't big, which is bullshit.
It was. They're still trying to say that to today, even though it's
bullshit.
Making money.
And they couldn't see that there's enough fan base for them to spend the kind of money. Like, how much do you think it takes to make a Friday the 13th movie?
Yeah, these are like very low budget, easy to make movies, and you don't need big celebrities to be in them.
All you need is the woods, Kane Hodder, some half-naked teenagers running around, and you got yourself a Friday the 13th movie. In fact, it would probably be welcomed because it'd be like a return to form.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like even though it's like the apple cider Jason thing was freaking horrible.
The what?
Have you not seen that?
No.
The Jason universe?
Oh, that fucking
the hard
thing?
apple cider like short film.
That's no, I didn't see the short film. I heard about it. Now that you mention it.
Yeah, it's like a short film, basically an ad for a hard apple cider, but it's horrible. It's worse. I
don't like the new design.
It's worse than that movie. Yeah, I don't like the new design either. But Captain Krypton, Mark Schwartz and Damon Shannon actually just wrote "Send Help" and had the hit with Sam Raimi. I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I can't believe there's not a movie coming out this year, though.
Right. No movie, nothing. And with three Friday the 13th in this year, nothing.
And that's the thing is, I still don't even completely understand the rights anymore.
It's all over. It's just
it was all over the fucking place to a point. But I thought they had something worked out between all parties involved. But now I'm not so sure because we got the Jason Universe thing.
Yeah.
And the Peacock series is clearly a completely different thing. So I don't fucking know any goddamn more.
Who knows what's good? I mean, it's a cluster.
And we're also supposed to be getting a Friday the 13th movie that has absolutely fucking fuck all to do with Jason. It's just going to be called Friday the 13th. And Sean S. Cunningham
always. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. I was going to say it's just going to be because they own their rights.
Those always succeed, right? When they do a Friday the 13th movie without the Halloween movie or whatever without the main character, right? That always works. Always. And well, that's Sean Cunningham for you too. Is like he never saw value in Jason and never wanted him. So go figure. I am looking forward to the what's his name's documentary, Adam Marcus's documentary.
Yeah, it's rolling out here soon. Yeah, I got a couple of emails I got to check into and see what they say. I know I'm sure I should be getting it pretty soon eventually. I was one of the backers, so
awesome. I'm gonna have to buy it from Synapse. I didn't back it, but I'll buy it from Synapse when it comes out.
I was upset I missed out on the Silver Mask.
Yeah. I don't care what anybody says. I like Jason Goes to Hell. Sue me. It's a good movie. I know
it's a better movie than fucking Friday the 13th remake.
I know it changes some of the mythos, but that wasn't, as we all know, and what you'll soon find out with the documentary, that wasn't Adam's fault.
No, well, when he talked to you and I, we all heard the story of like where Cunningham said, I don't give a shit what you got to do. Just get that fucking hockey mask out of there.
Yeah. And the machete too.
Because he hated Jason.
Yep. And if he's making a Friday the 13th movie without Jason, he's getting his wish.
If he's smart, he'll make a fucking movie of the TV show.
Does that fall in that rights, or is it?
I don't know. Frank Mancuso probably owns those rights, or his whatever. But like, I don't know. It's a good question. That's the thing is, I don't even know where it all falls because my understanding is I thought Cunningham owns the Friday the 13th name, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he's got, as far as I understand. And then on the other side of it, then what's his face has everything else. Because there was a fight over Jason for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were trying to argue that the kid version is not the same version that's the adult version, but the court decided that they were derivative of the same character. So I don't know where it all falls. Like there's some big mess, but supposedly they got some shit sorted out behind the scenes. So I don't know. But my understanding is we are supposed to be getting some sort of Jason movie at some point. There's the Peacock series that I thought was supposed to have Jason in it, but I'm not 100% sure what form we're going to get now that it's been taken away from Brian Fuller. Because his version, from my understanding, was supposed to be the show was not going to like be a remake. It was going to basically take place in between the movies, stuff we didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first script literally starts the night Jason was drowned.
Yeah.
And it's the mother. I've seen the scripts for the first couple episodes, let's say. Anyway, the Brian Fuller ones, that is. Yeah, and it literally starts out where they're on the boat looking for Jason's body. and she refuses to give up, and they keep saying, "Look, we might as well give up for tonight." Blah 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 blah, and she's just like, "No." So like that's the whole where it kicks off. So like I'm assuming like the first season would be like her leading up through all the stuff she did up to Friday the 13th, and then it will cut off where Friday the 13th would begin. And then the second season would probably pick up and tell us what happened with Jason between Friday the 13th 1 and 2. And I'm just assuming here, but I'm just guessing that's probably what his plan was.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because it kind of does to me anyway, but that's just where I saw it.
Yeah. I think I saw something where they said the first episode of the one that's the series they made, it takes place 6 months after Jason's drowning. So I think that's where they're picking up in the Camp Crystal Lake one for Peacock, with the new showrunners and everything. So we'll just have to see how that goes how it goes. But
yeah, that whole story is fucked up how that whole thing went down. But
yeah.
But anyhow, yep, Friday the 13th. That's my
yeah. I would have brought on mine, but I've been like the ones I brought on.
I almost thought you would have. I didn't. That's where Valentine threw me for a curve.
Yeah. Well, I figured I'd throw that in there because I did watch that. But like, yes, I did watch like the Friday the 13th movie, but I brought them on like part 6 and part 4 and part 7. Like we brought them all on before, so I didn't really bring them on to talk about them before. So, what can you say? It is what it is. But yeah, anyways, thank you, Tom, once again, as always, for joining me on the show. Thank you, everybody out in the chat and everybody watching at home. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit like, share, subscribe, and all that good thing, all that good stuff. And as always, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
How you doing? Bitches leave.